That's exactly how they sound. That's very good.
Why'd you name your company after your...
Just to check in, Wash, I think you might be sending the audio through your phone and not your mic.
Oh, that's a bad thing.
That is a bad
You
bad
did a
thing.
bad thing, Wash.
Yeah, you did a bad thing.
Get roasted.
We invite you on our stream, and what do?
This is how you repay us?
You do a bad thing.
It's not like I made the stream stop abruptly last time. Ah, dang it.
He left.
Oh no, and now he came back and it's putting us all in the wrong places. No, wait.
Perfect.
Just me. Like it just moved him.
Well, he's got to turn his camera on.
Okay, so when he turns his camera on, let's see if it flips it back.
It'd be funny if he refused to.
Yeah.
There you go.
Whoa. Guys, we're so good at this.
I know.
Wash.
We're good at keeping guests.
This is quality content.
Do I sound beautiful?
You sound
beautiful again?
Oh, you sound very
good.
I mean, you always sound beautiful. We were just giving you a hard time.
That's true. Not even a phone audio can
Roses
make
are
you
red.
sound ugly.
Violets are blue.
It is, but it do.
He's frozen. There he is. He's back.
It is, but you do.
I gotta turn his volume down a little bit now because suddenly he's in a different microphone.
And also, he keeps,
Trevor-
at least on my screen, he keeps freeze framing, but it's like in epic poses, so it's fine. He's
yeah.
He's epically slurping that water bottle. Now he's epically looking just kind of coolly at the camera.
Right,
Yes,
Now
Josh.
he's stroking his beard epically, and he's no longer frozen, so that's good.
It's cool. I'm here for it.
Yeah.
We can give people a little bit of a chance to get in here. We'll wait till 9 or 9:05 to keep things going.
Get in here!
Get in here, guys!
Get over here. Sorry.
Am I a robot anymore? Because my internet just
You're
turned
no longer
garbage
a robot
for a
to
second.
me.
You are not a
done
robot.
being a robot. You were a robot
Yes.
for a little while.
Definitely on my side. Holy cow!
That's
that
okay.
As one of our
Disgusting.
most engaged viewers, Werewolves, would say, it's time to play Bot or Not.
Wash is actually
Wash.
just part of the simulation. We created him.
Hmm.
Yeah, we have to put some firmware updates out there.
Are we the architects of the Matrix? Is that what you're saying?
No, we're trying to prototype the Matrix.
Oh.
We're doing
Yeah,
it
that's
We're
wrong.
like the forerunners of the Matrix.
Yeah.
No, don't you see? We're doing it right now. That's
We're-
what the last couple of streams have been about.
The Matrix?
Was me
Yeah,
getting
we got-
sick a glitch in the
We got
Matrix?
we got a whole map set up. We got
Buddha
things
guy is the
labeled.
Matrix. This is where, when you close your eyes tonight, you're gonna wake up here in Urugda,
Dang.
Just
No.
don't go anywhere dangerous, which is 90%
which is
of
most
the map.
of the map. Yeah, you want to, viewers? You want? Let me just show you right here, this little space that no one's played with at the bottom. Oh, you can't even see it. It's behind Trevor.
Yep.
Right where Trevor's
For
hand
me,
is.
Trevor's
You just
hand
show
is
up
touching it.
in my room.
Well,
Yep.
now somebody's gonna mess with it.
Oh, well, and also, to be fair, there's this corner of the map that we haven't really done much with. I mean, there's an ancient white dragon over there, but, there's nothing else. It's
There's
just
no one
There's
on the
the ocean.
peninsula.
if you're
We
all
haven't
there.
populated the oceans other than the merfolk.
Other than, except for all the population in the ocean.
I haven't populated the entire ocean
There's
yet.
seafaring spiders in the ocean.
True.
Do they count if the oil spill wipes them out?
Here's the big
There's
That's a
Oil
question:
in
catastrophe.
this
You have to
world.
create that.
Is our planet
yet.
round or flat?
Oh, dude, that might be too deep for me.
Are we
Actually,
is our planet dinosaur
spiral
shaped?
No, I'm pretty sure it's flat and disc shaped because it would fall into. We're still keeping the standard sort of arrangement of the planes in D&D. And the D&D planes are, I believe, flat. Wash, maybe you can speak into that too, but I'm pretty sure they're flat because they literally stack on top of each other. Right?
Their universe is
not
stacked.
necessarily.
If you expand your mode of thinking, it doesn't have to be flat in order to stack layers of dimensions upon each other.
No,
I'm with Matt on this one.
Could be cubes.
I'm
So it's
not
like
saying that it's
Lego
impossible to
blocks?
stack things that aren't flat. I'm saying that in the depiction of the planes, I'm pretty sure they're literally stacked like plates.
So, Josh, I'm gonna blow your mind. You know
Oh,
how
yeah?
like
You're gonna blow my mind.
after a cafeteria's done eating, right, and they you know what they stack over in the corner?
Plates.
The chairs.
Oh no, Wash is gone again.
Wash died again.
He's back.
Oh, he back. He back.
Are you okay, Wash?
My internet went kablooey again. I'm now on cellular.
Oh, okay.
So I think that's better.
No fun.
There's been a huge thunderstorm down here. Well,
Oh.
I have a data package with my company, and so they essentially pay
Gotcha.
for an unlimited Verizon package. So it's not that big of a deal. Because this is totally business expense. You know?
Yeah, this is totally a business expense.
We're very
testing out
business-like
streaming
here.
gear for training sessions. That's what
Yes.
I'm doing.
Yeah, you're learning because we're really high production, like really tight production value here at Wing Badger Gaming. So
Yes.
Yeah.
We run a tight ship.
So
Yeah.
I don't know where the conversation about planets and whatnot in D&D went.
Matt took us to the cafeteria.
I was like, you know, at the cafeteria, you know what they stack over there? They stack chairs, and they're not flat.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say they stack trays, which
Yeah,
they
but
also
Matt,
do, and
the
they are
map
flat.
of the planes is not drawn in the shape of chairs. The
It
planes
could
are
be if it
drawn
was though.
in the shape of
Well,
planes. I think
to-
our
to
world
quote
should be
the-
chair-shaped.
To quote the great Matt Colville, the map is not the territory, and typically is symbolic of the alignment, just like the Great Wheel cosmology isn't a physical circle. Each of those planes are technically infinite. And to my understanding, there's a couple different ways that it works. Like Greyhawk is different than the Forgotten Realms. And like with Spelljammer, there are like almost spherical pocket dimensions that you can travel that have like space in between them. So really, it all depends. But I believe Forgotten Realms actually is a planet, and does have like a universe. But the entire contents of the universe is the material plane because it's physical matter
Gotcha. Well,
That
then
all
maybe
of
our
the-
world
that
is
all-
round.
that all of the elemental planes bleed into.
I guess that's something for the gods to figure out, is whether the world is round.
Wait
No,
a minute.
The fact that we haven't figured it out by like the middle of the third age is kind of funny to me.
What kind of map projection is this?
What do you mean?
Well, like, how big is this continent? If it's a spherical world, right? And we depending on what map projection we're using, how do we know that everything's actually the way it looks?
We don't.
Matt, that's the most stoner question I've ever heard you ask. How do we know
mean,
that everything
it's-
looks like how everything
He's
looks
getting
like?
in character already.
We should just pick up where we left off, I think, and keep going here. This is good.
If the world is round and the bottom continent is like half the planet, man.
Man,
Oh. Bro.
they're gonna win.
I guess
gonna
that's
win.
the implications also go into the Underdark of, is that the like life actual same size as this? Because like on a sphere it'd be different.
Yes, it is the same size. You know why? Because as Matt said, you can stack things no matter what shape there. So this is just the same chair shape as the real world is,
But
and
if
it's just stacked
but
on
Josh, if this is to scale, then Trevor is correct that it's technically physically impossible for
Well,
it to be
so either-
exactly the same,
it. That's
unless
not true because this is an
unless
inverted
no,
height
wait,
map.
well,
So
wait,
where the world was at
wait,
zero
wait,
altitude, it would touch,
wait.
and then it would extend away from each other.
Obviously, this world is just so big,
That's where my mind was going.
yeah, that it doesn't matter, right? That it might as
so
well
you're saying
be
there
flat.
it goes way deeper than the Underdark?
Oh yeah, and it's way wider than we see.
Because we've
So
got
is this like I think it's a JRPG map where it's just completely square, and once you go off the left side, you come back on the right side. It just infinitely loops.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to do it. Also, it does go deeper because we've got the surface, the dark, and the underdark. So then there's got to be like the underdark, and then the really
The
really low dark,
Underdark.
and then like the super
The sub Underdark.
Yeah, the sub
do we get to the
underdark,
cold-
the subdarctic, the ant darktic. You know, like there's a lot of dark to have here.
The please go back dark.
Yeah, exactly. And then eventually you just get to the light and you come back out on the top because it's non-Euclidean. Ooh,
What does
hit 'em
that
with the,
even
hit 'em with the big words.
Oh, so we just
means
it's an
it's not
infinite wrap
Euclidean.
in both directions.
I thank you, Wash. I appreciate that.
Jake, non-Euclidean space is space that is one size on the outside, but the volume it contains is different. So, for example, if I have a cube that's 1 meter
It's the
in
TARDIS.
every direction, yes, it's the TARDIS. A cube that's
Okay.
1 meter in every direction, but it takes 20 meters to walk from one side to the other. That's non-Euclidean.
Is it physically possible or is it theoretical?
I
mean,
thought that's the,
Theoretical.
The Explain Like I'm 5 version is that geometry is based on a flat sheet of paper, but those rules will like still work in three-dimensional space and can
Yeah.
behave differently in three-dimensional space. So whenever you work with geometry in a three-dimensional space, it's non-Euclidean. But like going back to Matt's
So
idea of a
everything is
planet just being
non-Euclidean
really
if it's
big,
3D.
pretty much, because it's like it superseded Euclides or whatever his name was that like came up with the geometry and stuff. Essentially, like Euclidean math worked because the planet's surface is though it is round, it's so spread out that it is practically flat and is functionally flat, and so the math just works. But there were holes in it for a
Like
very, very long
Skyrim.
time, and the non-Euclidean math kind of solved all of that stuff.
so it's just like Skyrim. It just works.
Is it a bug or a feature?
So Lore Master, what should we do now?
It's like Skyrim. It's the same text that's just
Uh,
released
we
in new
left
books
off
every year for
on-
new schools.
We left off on Kelnor's turn. The turn before it was Aurora's, and they had their army and Gomtia's army marching on Rust Free, trying to restore the library and the Great Market.
That's right, finding materials. Do we remember how many points we had? I guess it's only Kelnor who's left in the round, right? So
Yeah.
only he has to know how many points he's got.
12.
Except for leftovers, if we had any, but I don't remember.
I don't think I had any leftovers. Cool, you got
was gonna
12.
say I didn't
Do the
have any
thing,
leftovers.
Kelnor. Kelnor,
All right.
the gods
I had
await
0
your
points.
decision.
Let me think about this real quick. You know, you guys are you're doing some crazy stuff over there. You need to chill out. Starting armies and stuff. It's too much. Too much.
You're too
Trying to-
much.
Trying to make war applications for, you know what? We'll find a better application for your technology. We're uprooting the order again. And we're gonna go ahead and go to what are your people called over there on your floating island?
The A2?
The A2? Yeah, we're going to the A2.
Before you
Checkmate.
leave, though, the druids you partied with are gonna ask for directions to the dwarven place and be like, "We'll exchange, we'll trade,
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
bro.
What's your number?
And
So you're just gonna go like really far that way. All right, now you just keep going. You're gonna see some big mountains. All right, they're gonna be really big. All right, you're gonna go that way, and you're gonna go to the big mountains. Now you want to look for the third mountain peak. From the top, not from the left or right. You want to count the peaks from the top to the bottom. Third mountain peak. You go to that one, and then you search the next 100-mile radius, and you'll find a door.
100-mile radius.
I flew here. What can I say?
They look to the dwarf. Can you give better instructions?
I'm sure he's gonna draw a map for you.
Yeah.
The dwarves who are all drunk are like, dude.
His map's gonna be really detailed around the mountain, and the further it gets closer to you, the more just like.
very big, yeah.
I think I saw a river here. There was definitely some trees here.
Alrighty.
I blacked out around this point, so I really don't know.
Yeah. Oh, no, you gotta go to Stonebeard over there. We were testing this very potent ale at that time, and I was the tester. Oh.
I assume you create an order in RE Vale too.
Oh yeah, no. Everywhere I touch down,
Okay.
I'm creating an order. I'm bringing a few druids with me that
of
agree with
course.
my ways.
Yeah.
My peace-loving, alcohol-inducing ways.
And they bring along some nice plants with them.
Yeah, some nice plants.
Yeah, some nice plants.
420 days and 420 nights.
Around the
Nice.
world in 420 days.
All right, so yeah,
There's
we're
the
heading
title
to the
for you,
A2.
Josh.
And we're gonna try to find a better application for their mystical powers of of harnessing the raw electric potential of the world.
Cool.
That's it for K. For me, that's like a point right there, and I got 11 points.
You do. You could drop some catastrophe on the world if you wanted.
You know what I'm gonna do.
He changes the planet from
What you
flat
gonna
to spherical.
Can we invert all the terrain?
Yeah, the
Oh,
Underdark
dear.
becomes the surface.
It's just
You
all
flip
right.
it back over.
When you're ready.
Oh, I'm ready.
Are you ready? I don't think anyone's ready for what I'm about to do.
We're ready.
You're a wild card. We have no idea what you're gonna do.
What I'm about to do? Ooh, what I'm about to do is nothing.
Wow.
I passed my
10
turn.
This
points?
man's
I was
sitting on
not
11
ready.
points.
I'm sitting on 11 points.
He's just sitting on him.
I got plans. Plans
Big
for
plans.
days.
Alrighty. That brings us to the top of the round, and everyone roll.
Also, I'm gonna grab water once we're done
No.
rolling.
No.
Oh,
Does anyone
I
have
got
the stream
6.
pulled up? Can they just confirm that it looks okay?
Yeah, it looks okay
I haven't
okay.
pulled it up.
where I'm at. Yeah.
Yeah, it
Fine
looks
to me.
good.
My computer is wigging out graphically, but as long as the stream looks fine, that's fine by me.
I think I had the +3 still carrying through. I'm going to assume I did, but if someone wants to say no, you didn't, please. Let me
I might want to, but I don't know.
Didn't thou keep track of thine points?
know. No. We ended so suddenly.
I'm sorry.
I have 8 points this round.
I'm sitting on a big 1-0.
I'm sitting on a big 6.
Ouch.
Yeah, that does sound
I
painful.
got 9.
Yep.
Where did
Uh,
Matt go? Okay.
To get
He's
water.
grabbing some
Did
water.
you not hear this?
No, I didn't
I
hear
think
it.
it's your turn, Josh.
Turn up
Yeah,
your giant
God,
monitor
around, aren't you?
speakers, Josh.
Jake's over here roasting me. This man.
Comtius, you begin the round.
Indeed.
I don't know why I'm roasting you. We're allied. We're like we're trying to do the same thing.
Josh just did it as an in to get his armies close with Jake, and then he's gonna backstab.
I mean, he's
Order
the god
66.
of chaos, but also like he keeps talking about how chaos breeds innovation. My whole thing is innovation, so I feel like we're on the same side here. I don't know.
Yeah, until he starts trying to like standardize trade and impose tariffs and stuff, we're pretty much all right.
I'm libertarian. I'm not trying to do that. I'm a libertarian goddess of trade.
This is an interesting development.
We haven't really talked about the politics of our races.
Except that there's one kingdom that exists. We know that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I know what you said, but I swear I heard the politics of our racists.
Those are all bad.
Those are all bad.
I don't know what else to say.
I
Somebody
mean, that
clip
sums it up pretty quick.
That's TikTokable. Okay,
Flipping.
the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to spend 4 points to create an order among the orcs of Briannia.
An orctor, if you will.
Yes, an orctor. I'm spending 4 points to create an order there. The orcs are going to establish a like a militia, basically, because they're all clan based, and they've realized, as you know, there are humans across the lake and things like that, and they've, you know, word is starting to reach them of armies moving towards the Western Hemetetians. So they are going to form a militia just for their own sort of protection. So it's just a loosely organized militia. So that's 4 points spent. I've got 6 points remaining. With those 6 points, I'm going to spend 5 points advancing a city. And with
Oh,
those
sorry.
5... Go ahead.
I was clipping. So what did you do?
Oh, I spent 4 points. The orcs made a militia. Word
London.
of the armies have reached the orcs of Briannia, and
Okay.
they have created a militia just for their own defense. They're not on a conquest or anything.
Okay.
I'm then going to advance the city of Fladena. Fladena is the Cavorite city closest to the Fallen Library and the Great Market, and they have been, sort of scavenging resources and trying to take what they can from the library and from the market and sort of store it and protect it and whatever. And they're going to make some developments in their architecture. They're learning from the knowledge that was stored in the library and with all of the materials in the market and the new access to sort of building tools and electricity and power. So they're going to become architecturally advanced.
I like that.
Advanced architecture. And I have 1 point left, which I'm going to spend on my avatar. I just want to make sure I mark this down for myself. And my avatar, Garlel, is going to spend 1 point, and with his 1 point, I'm going to command Garlel to teach his army the skill of working in units and platoons and things, because dragons are not generally used to fighting as a group. So Garlel is advancing the army in sort of large-scale combat. And that's
Are you okay if I put battle tactics?
Yeah, that's fine.
Cool.
The Kavarite army is just growing in its tactical prowess.
Okay.
What's the city we're targeting, Josh, again?
We're in
Rust
Rust
Free.
Free right now.
Rust
It's
Free.
abandoned,
Okay.
so there's no actual fight at Rust Free. We're just waiting to... This turn, I guess, Wash will have to tell us what we find left over in the city as far as materials, because that's the armies are just there scavenging.
Is now Zanir's turn.
You need me to tell you what?
Sorry, we
What
actually
we
need
would
you to
find
tell
in
us
Rust
two
Free.
things. Yeah, one, what are we finding in the ruins of Rust Free? Which resources are there to salvage?
okay.
And two, just as a reminder, I smashed your scale with a small stone at the end of the last session, and we don't know what that does. You don't have to tell us what it did, but just if that affects your gameplay.
Sure. Well, in Rust Free, you'll probably find a lot of they migrated, so they would have taken a lot of things with them, but they would have left infrastructure, so aqueducts and any sort of city structures that they would have used would have been abandoned, but they would have taken their belongings and packed up and migrated south. They wouldn't have just
This is where they discovered steel. Would any of that material be left behind, or would they have taken it all with them?
roll a d20.
Aw, yeah, boy.
Mm.
I got
Can
a
I roll a
19.
d20 as well, since my armies are there too?
Yeah. No.
No. An 18, you
A
said?
19.
I wouldn't expect
19?
it.
Yeah, it's totally there.
Okay. So there's some steel there for us. Sweet, sweet.
Yep.
Good.
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 I'll put
As
found
far as the
steel and
scale
rust
is
free on your
concerned,
thing.
As far as the scale is concerned, don't really know. Or it hasn't really become evident what has happened, aside from the fact that the scale has been tipped back the other way.
Right.
Let's see. I think some stuff is going to happen in Oat.
Okay.
So if we could zoom in over there.
Zoom and enhance.
Zoom in or zoom out.
Nice.
Yeah,
Well, I liked it. I thought your
I'm
plan was
back.
good.
You can tell I'm not sick anymore.
That was a good nice. That was a good nice.
Good, nice.
Good, nice.
Let's see. I'm going to use Do. I'm going to command Do to build a wall around the city. I'm going to use her to command city and
Are you
construct a
going to
wall.
cover the whole 30-mile expanse, or is the city smaller than that? I'm not sure how big their city is.
Seeing as though, yeah, I think yes, because seeing as though there was the magical protection
Yeah,
around that entire hex.
that's fair.
I feel like they would have, through the years that would have
utilize that.
become like a natural city border. Yeah. And
Cool.
would lay claim to the amount of stuff. So it's almost like the Great Wall of Oat.
Nice.
What's the wall going to be made out of?
Oats.
Yeah.
No. Just stone, locally quarried stone.
Okay.
And then I am going to use. Let's see, that was 1 point, I believe, to command avatar.
It was.
Yep.
Why can I not see command avatar?
Oh, I guess on the politics side, we do know that the wheatlings and rootlings are imperial. That's something that we do know. We were talking about politics
there it is.
earlier.
Oh yes, we do
Okay.
know that,
Your politics.
Wow.
and we know the hill dwarves are a kingdom.
Yep. And we know
Let's
that
see. Then I'm going to advance the city of Oat.
Okay, oat still.
Okay.
Yeah. Wait, how much is an order? An order is 2.
4 points
That would be 5.
to create
5
an
to
order
advance the city.
is 4 points.
Correct. Which I would not have enough. I was looking at command order.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my bad. So I'm going to advance their magic, but most primarily their cleric magic. Like this is going to be god centric. Yeah, divine magic. There you go. That's the word I was trying to think of.
I got you.
So you are advancing their divine magic.
yes.
Yes. And that should bring me down to whatever 8 minus 5 is.
Don't
3?
bring
3.
me down. No, 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 no.
And I'm going to sit at 3.
Okay.
Oh,
Grab it. Pass it to you, Trevor.
It is now my turn. That is Co to you.
Hello, Kotix.
we have a
You
lot.
know, Co.
Is your avatar continuing his journey?
Yes, she is.
Sorry, she.
A much different journey than the one.
It was
that
1d6 per
Kelnor's is
turn,
on.
right?
Yeah, 1d6.
Okay. That's a 3.
Okay. And just remind me, is she going to the dwarves or is she going to the... She's going to the dragons, right? The Kavarites?
Dragons, yes.
1, 2, 3. Okay.
I have sent her on this pilgrimage.
Great.
Anyways, so I have 8 points to use. One of them will be to command my new avatar,
Mm-hmm.
mountains.
Q.
Oh. Q, yes. What did I? I didn't name him Q. I
No.
did have a name for him.
I think
But
you...
we thought that if you did, then they should supply the other avatars with spy gadgets.
Yeah.
Oh. Kirik is his name. And he is an Arakakra person.
Nice.
Which
Which is different than whatever I thought it was supposed to be. A
Yes.
Kenku. Yeah.
Kenku!
Because Kenku are flightless.
I had this funny idea, and I'm just gonna roll with it.
I love funny ideas.
So I'm gonna have him, and you guys tell me if this is too much, but I'm gonna have him create a race of like bird dwarves or like bird moles where they can tunnel and fly.
Avatars can only create a sub-race of something.
Oh, I thought they could create a race.
They can create a sub race. I think Josh is correct.
Yeah, they can create... And they can only do that once in their lifetime.
It says create race once.
Oh, really? I thought it only said create sub-race. Cool.
Maybe you're a sub race.
You're a sub race.
You sub-racist.
we're gonna do like hybrid bird moles.
Whoa.
Do you call them bowls or merds?
Molds.
Oh yeah, it is create race once. Sorry.
Bird moles. I'm not sure what to give this thing of a mole. I'll just give it legs. There. I've made it.
Like a bird spider thing.
Think like yeah, actually just put wings on a mole and that's what we have.
Bolds.
And they're humanoid-ish, like the size of it, like a human.
Okay.
You know, it's kind of like a mole.
What?
A badger.
Right? We could do badgers. I'm fine with badgers.
How did you want to?
With wings?
You're,
How did you
Yeah.
want to spell
you're,
it?
I was gonna say you're making a race of winged badgers.
Yeah.
What did I do? Okay.
I didn't even intend for this to happen, but we're just gonna roll with it, you know?
Okay, so
I
there are
like
winged
that.
badgers.
Yes.
Okay.
Perfect. I mean, that's bound to happen, right? We had to.
Yeah.
Well, now we can use the mini.
Yeah.
Yes. There you go.
Let me see
Boom.
the mini real quick. If you have it on hand.
Oh, I have to dig it out.
I have
want
one that
to
was
see
printed
the
but isn't
mini.
painted, but getting the supports off it is not going great. There's some battle scarring happening. I may have to try a reprint.
Dang.
You and I should sit down, and I'll show you how to do better supports.
I would love that.
Nice.
There's a way to do that in the settings.
I'm all about
Settings
it.
are
Reprint
hard.
talk. Nice.
Yep, perfect. That's
Nice.
exactly what they are. Maybe without armor yet, though. But mine will eventually. Anyways, yes.
Someday.
We're legitimate winged badgers. You know, it happened accidentally, but we got here.
Cool.
So yeah. So that was 1 point on him. And I have 7 points left.
Oof, big money.
You should buy a lotto ticket. You'll win big.
We are going to advance Airyvale. We're going to give them advance their irrigation and agricultural system, so they're able to spread the water more into the forest, grow crops better, you know, all that.
I know this says irrigation, but that looks like advanced immigration.
It does. Just immigration spelled wrong.
I mean, it's on the coast.
Yeah.
It's the silent harbor. Everybody just sneaks in. It's advanced immigration.
How does it
Right.
look now? Is that better? Is
Oh yeah.
that better?
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. Easier to read it from that close, right?
Mhm. Definitely.
Needs more JPEG.
Needs less pixels, actually. Give me less pixels.
This is as little pixels as I can give you.
Give me less.
Can you anti-alias it a little bit more?
Now our crop yields will be better for trading and selling.
Imagine making this in Illustrator and making it vector.
I suppose technically, Jake, this is less pixels.
True.
In a technical sense, yes. Or we could be just downscaling it so much that it's so many pixels. They're just not showing it up
Yeah,
on
but
your
are
monitor.
they round or are they flat?
What shape does a pixel
Or
have?
are they chair
All right.
shaped?
Is that the end of your turn,
No one
Trevor?
will know.
Yes, I have 1 point left, and I will keep it.
Okay.
That brings us to Oara.
Yay! Okay. I need to strategize with Gomtius.
Yeah?
Gomtius. Now that our armies have taken some resources from Rust Free, are we satisfied with that? Or are we like, no, let's march on the Eastern Hematations and go for more?
I mean, I feel like the steel will enable us to build a better library
Agreed.
and a better, floating market. And you've still got the knowledge of the like all of your electrical sort of secrets and powers. And we still have spoken lore, like because Garlel survived, he is still a collector of knowledge, so I think he can help like it won't be what it was, but he can definitely help rebuild the library into what it used to be, or a start towards there, and perhaps refound the AOF.
I have an idea. I have an idea about
Okay.
what we should do with Rust Free then.
Okay.
What if we established a new city there? We can call it maybe New Rust Free or something.
Okay.
And it is it's not really of either of our nations. It can be kind of a city state with a democratically elected government.
If it's not
Representing-
rust free, is it stainless?
Hilarious.
I love that.
That's great.
And it kind of Republic City, Avatar: Legend of Korra vibe. You know what I'm talking about? Where we
We're already
can,
in the industrial age of this planet?
Well, Jake has founded electricity, so
yeah.
He sort
Fair.
of did that to us. I've considered taking it away from the people, but right now he's my ally, and I feel bad about that.
Wow. Wow.
Um,
Plus, you're all about innovation. What the heck?
Yeah, but they could get to innovate again.
Wow.
could innovate
That's the
better
difference
than the
between you
last
and I.
Yeah.
Anyway, what if we started a city here and we both shared the resources that we can continue to use what they use to mine for and create
So it's
steel?
a bribe.
It's not a bribe. It's
If
a
we-
collaborative effort.
If we
You
can get
start
take
more
my
steel.
technology away, you don't get the resource.
if we start a city here and it's supposed to be a center, like a blending point for all the cultures of the world, then
Or
I
at least
think,
for our two cultures.
well, I was going to say, then I think we need to take some of our army, perhaps half of each army, and turn them into emissaries to invite all of the other cultures of the world into like what we're making, into the city of Stainless. And we
Yeah.
can say,
Starting
you
a
know,
cultural hub.
the idea of Stainless as a city-state is that it's not just free of rust, but it's stainless in terms of like the corruption of people's hearts. Like it should be truly neutral. There's no, no one is overpowered by others. The weaklings should have an equal say in the city as the Darude, and as like I feel like that would be the best way to go about this. Does that feel fair to
Yeah.
you?
I think that feels very fair.
Okay, then I think that's what we should do. And don't forget to have your, we still need to take some resources back.
Yes,
I
we'll do
forgot to
that
order
first.
my army to do that, and I'm out of points. But
I'm gonna order my army to do that for the establishing of the
okay.
So, Jake, just to be clear,
new market.
you're
What?
spending your points to create a new city. Yes.
What are the costs right now? Sorry. Okay. Where
your avatar, the
to command my
inventor,
army. To command my army, how much is that? Because there's no command army
I would
function.
consider your army in order. Does that feel
Okay.
fair to
Yeah.
everyone else
I
here?
think that does feel fair.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so 2 points to command an
2
order
points,
to do
so now I'm
something.
down to 4 points. How much is to create a city right now?
Establishing a city would be commanding, like you're commanding the order to
Avatar.
establish a city in this case. Or his avatar's not there. His avatar.
My
back
avatar
on
is not currently at that location.
Would that
Um,
be command race if you're establishing a city?
It is normally command race, but I feel like in this case he's commanding an army to do it. Like it's not the whole race who
Can
are
I
there.
command order twice in a turn? Yes, I can.
Yeah, you can do that.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
Then-
if you think it should be command race, I'm not trying to make it cheaper to do the
I can
thing.
do either. I have the points to do either, so.
You flexing on him.
Well, I only have 6 points. Both of those things are cheap.
I think command order is fine because it's a subset of the race. It'll
mean,
just take long. Maybe it might
command-
take longer.
Command city is what you use to make an army. So it would be a city's resource. So would it not
Yeah.
be command the city to have their army do a thing?
That's fair. Commanding the city is the same points as commanding an order too. So it seems like that would be.
I just can't command a city
It would
twice.
seem weird to command order without having created an order. So
I mean,
it would
I
make
have
sense
created
if
an
it was
order,
command
but it
city.
was a long time ago. Okay, that's fair.
That's
Well,
fair.
he's saying the army's not in order.
Yeah. He's saying the army is an extension of the city because you command a city to raise an
So,
army. You don't
if
create an
that's-
order.
If that's the case, then I can only command city once per turn. So what Wash is saying then is that I can't do both of these things in one turn.
I wasn't even thinking about that.
Oh,
I was
okay.
just thinking like where the armies came from.
I
Because
think
What are
what
the
you're
two
saying
things
makes
you're-
sense.
was created by a
You're trying to
city.
do?
What's up?
What are the two things you're trying to do?
I'm trying to take some resources back to the previous location, the fallen Great Market, so we can rebuild it. But then I'm also trying to
All
establish
right.
the city of Stainless.
Fun fact, guys. What if we just say he can do it and it costs 4 points total?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay,
That's fine.
let's do that. Cool. So now I'm down to 2 points. And I think that's going to be the end of my turn. So step one, bring steel and resources we find back to start rebuilding the Great Market. Step two, most of the remaining parts of the army that stay back become emissaries and establish the city of Stainless in collaboration with Gomtius's people as
Can I
well.
make a suggestion for one of your last 2 points?
What's up?
You should command your avatar to begin constructing blueprints for the new market and lore foundation because your avatar is an inventor, right?
Yes,
So
that's a good idea. We'll do that too. So now I'm down to 1 point, and that's the end of my turn.
Righty. That
I
brings us.
forget
to,
which things are flavor and which things are necessary to do things.
That brings us to Kelnor.
Okay, guys. This is like some really good
I'm ready for it.
electricity. It's looking pretty great. But you're doing it all wrong. All right. I'm a trade with the A2 here for some like electric bib bobs and wingle digits. And I will imbue my avatar with the knowledge of how the world works in order to create awesome colored lights to light up the airship.
isn't there just a cantrip that does that?
Yes.
But
Dancing
these are
lights?
LEDs.
These flicker with electricity. All right. And once we've gotten that, we do our thing. We do a recruitment drive. Take those who really want to go. And you know what? I think can you zoom out here? We got a lot of stops. We got a lot of stops ahead of us. I'm hoping I just have enough time to make all these stops. So quick question.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm just gonna make a stop and I'm not actually doing anything there, can we count that as a part of a single round since each one of these rounds is 5 years?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would assume you can still move to another place next, and like that would be your turn. Or
Like if
whatever.
I'm just gonna stop, like I'm just gonna say, "Hey, how you doing?" and bye.
Well, you got the knowledge for electricity.
Well,
I
yeah,
feel
in
like,
this
yeah.
case, I did something.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But if I'm just gonna say hi and bye,
I think each time you go to a place, you're telling your avatar go to that place. So as long as you can continue commanding your avatar to go places. Oh no, because your avatar can only do stuff once in a turn.
yes. Fair enough. All right. I'll have to be selective.
Actually, no. Wait. Command Avatar doesn't have a little star by it. You can command Avatar multiple times in a turn.
Well, it says an avatar can perform one of the following immortal or many mortal actions.
Gotcha. Okay. Weird that they only specify it then instead of in the table of powers. Strange.
Well, it's
Yeah.
per target per turn.
Oh, true. That would be why they would do that. Never mind.
Like if you have multiple avatars, you can
Yeah.
command each
Rip.
avatar.
Makes sense.
You know what? Let me look around here.
If you want me to zoom in somewhere, let me know.
What's going on with that white dragon again?
Thraxenhau. Thraxenhau is an ancient white dragon with an unchallenged domain that's some probably 600 or 700 miles in diameter.
Okay. I got you. All right. You know what? I think I know who knows how. I think I know who we need to visit next. Can we head over to those orc folk?
The orc folk. You
The orc folk?
certainly may. Do we think that this distance he can travel in one turn with an airship? Other people?
Yeah. I mean, it's farther. He's made farther trips in one turn, so.
Has he?
I was ready with an argument.
Oh, cool.
I was like, let's measure this continent. Let's divide that by 5 miles per hour. Guarantee you it's less than 5 years. Airship F the world. Okay. So, dude, you guys are like really cool with your war, but I'm not here for that. Because, we're all about having a good time, and I heard you guys can have a good time. So how about you show us some of those crazy games you play, and blood sports, we'll tone it down a bit, but we'll figure something out. We'll figure something out.
question for the group here. As the orcs are a tribal group who just formed a militia because they're scared of other warfaring nations coming into their territory, do we need him to roll to see whether they treat him as hostile or friendly?
First question: do they even speak? Like, or I guess
Do they even speak? Are you racist?
not. I didn't mean to stop there. It was a bad part to stop, but like common or like.
I mean,
like
it's
they've been
common.
isolated,
I agree.
yeah.
I think they probably just speak orcish.
right? They have their own language, and no one's experienced orcs really, so like no one knows the
Bruh.
language
So does
yet.
he need to roll with disadvantage to see if they're hostile or not?
Are you saying as a god that my avatar doesn't know how to speak the languages of this world?
That's fair. Your
Avatar
avatar
would-
might learn their language.
Yes.
Yes.
Like if your avatar wants to spend time there, sure, but it's not
Here-
like he's just given the innate knowledge of speaking Orcish.
I think it's fair to have him roll, but I think disadvantage is probably negated by the fact that he is the god of hospitality, and his
Okay.
avatar would have like a state like an aura of like, hey man, we're just here to like vibe, you know, like
Man,
yeah.
harsh or chill?
He teaches the orc common.
Sort of an aura of like music festival.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everyone speaks vibe.
Should it just be a flat above or below a 10? Is that the way we should have him roll? I'm leaving this in Wash's hands because I came up with the idea. I don't want to skew it with my biases.
I don't think a roll is necessary,
Oh, okay.
honestly. I think that you know, using D&D rules, if there is a chance of failure or if there's like a legitimate chance of failure, then a roll is necessary. Him being an avatar of the god of hospitality,
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't think that there's a case for it.
Yeah, that's fine. He
You
just does it.
guys,
You did it.
Nothing to worry about. All right. Now let me show you some really cool plants. We're gonna
And
learn
beer.
some fun. We're gonna learn some fun games from these boys. And so that's 1 point.
Stoner militia.
Down to 14. I'd like to
Stone crossing.
purify this civilization
The orcs?
that works. Because they don't really have a city,
Interesting.
right? So I guess pure civ is all I can do.
Yeah.
And that's 4 points, so that leaves me with 10. And I'm just gonna leave it there.
So that's a +1, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I love the idea that the orcs are going to become like the peaceful society in the world.
Mhm.
Man, I really like that.
Right,
Those
dude?
peace-loving orcs.
Yeah.
Is that the end of your turn?
Yeah, that's. I'm saving the rest of my points. I got to.
All right.
They're gonna be like buff gypsies.
Okay, everyone, we're at the top of the round again.
Very nice.
I rolled 5. 5 plus 3 is 8. I'm
I have
going
5.
to... Okay.
Dang it.
5 plus 3 is also 8, and then I carried over, I think, 1 point from last time.
I rolled an 8, so I'm at 18.
Matt rolling in the points.
I'm at 8.
I'm
8 kind
going,
of day.
I'm going to spend all 8 of my 8 points, and I'm going to create an avatar among the hill dwarves of Udril. And to name him, I'm going to totally go to Fantasy Name Generator.
The name you already have written down, you know, you're just loading.
Thank
You should name him Clay Tongue. or Shalebeard.
What'd you say about my beard?
I'm trying to think like they're hill dwarves.
Or shave your beard.
They're not mountain dwarves. What does a hill dwarf name itself?
Hilly
even care?
McKillface.
Grassy
Hilly
knoll.
McKillface.
Bruxelles with buckle.
You said grassy knoll, and all I could think of was
Yes.
the Kennedys.
That's just that's just a good Matt quote right there.
That is a
Name your avatar Oswald.
Oh no. Oh no. Please no.
His
He's
name
from
is
a village.
Navrak. Navrak. Navrak.
That's cool.
So let's put Navrak on the map here.
Yeah.
He's
And-
putting Navrok on the map.
And Navrak.
Find the map. Okay.
I'm the map.
I'm the
I'm the map. I'm the map. I'm the map.
I'm the map.
Yes, continue,
Are
Josh.
we-
Sorry,
are we
we're
done?
being stupid.
Are we done? I'm going to raise up Navrak as a gentleman thief among the hill dwarfs.
Oh.
So Navrak is the kind of thief who works in like recovery of lost items.
Is he like a
because-
Robin Hood type guy?
Yeah, like slightly less noble than Robin Hood. He's not a charitable thief, but he's the kind of person, like, especially in a kingdom where there's going to be a nobility because they're whoever the king likes at the time. He's the kind of people who something that gets stolen, you hire him to go get it back for you. Navrak. So he's very talented at sort of recovering items. He has a strong moral compass. He's aligned sort of lawful good. But his code that he sticks to is more of a personal code than the law of the land. So that's Navrak, and that's my turn.
Nice.
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 That brings us to
Nice.
Zanir, who may or may not still be evil. We don't know.
We don't know.
I am sitting on 8 points right now.
He's just sitting on him.
Yep, just
On
sitting on it. It's like a
Wishing them.
little comfy infinite symbol. There was a city, I believe, that was advanced in the ways of magic.
Yes.
A druidic you?
There are 2 cities on the map that I know of that are advanced in the way of magic. The merfolk as a civilization are advanced in healing magic. And they have the foremost mages academy in the country in their city of Naturi. And then I believe somewhere up here was it the druid city of Arivale that was advanced in magic? No, that's agriculture.
No.
The
white.
wheatlings. Wheatlings are divine magic.
And then the glacier Arctic city,
The goat people.
Whiteshire.
The goat people were with war magic.
Yes.
Yes.
The goat folk of the north with their advanced war magic.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
So when it says sorry, yeah, no, it's not as scary as it sounds. When it says to create an order, it says that by this power the gods create an order of people within a civilization or race. How much of it is a stretch for me to make an order that exists outside of civilizations? That is an order that is centered around a concept.
I don't mind it.
I mean,
Yeah, I don't
Josh
either.
kind of already did it in a way. I mean, it's still mostly dragons, but their whole thing, well,
The
yeah,
Lore
I mean-
Foundation was still all dragons, but it could
Gotcha.
be they could recruit others,
I mean, that's literally what Matt's doing.
I'm doing that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm literally recruiting from every
Yeah.
race.
Yeah, dude, you can make an order.
Yeah, you got it.
No, I'm a hypocrite.
Only I can do this,
You're
not
not
you.
allowed.
Okay. Let me roll up a name real quick here.
Fruit roll up a name.
Got him.
Fruit roll
Fruit
up.
by the foot. Name by the foot.
Blow up.
Fruit by the name.
Orange.
Jake.
Jake becomes an orange on screen.
We had that planned very well.
Yeah, there you go.
VFX. Ready to
Okay,
go.
so the name of this is the Order of the Exalted Ring.
Mm.
Whoa.
The Order of what? Sorry, the Exalted what?
Ring.
The
Ring.
Order of the Exalted Ring.
They just really think UFC is like really exalted, like really good.
They
was a bad
really
joke.
hate default ringtones. No, they are an order of wizards that are pulled from every society, and they are. I believe I have to route them onto the map, and I would like to place them. Just give them a tower.
Mhm.
It's not a city. It's just
Right.
like a dwelling place. Give them a big wizard's tower on the northern spire. The neutral spire down in the south of the map.
Oh,
Nope, not up there.
sorry, you said northern. I got lost. So
Nope, my bad.
You got lost in the
Those
sauce.
the three pillars, the three columns,
got it.
and then there's the neutral one in the north.
Yes. So at the top of the 30-mile high tower is a tower.
If it was any other order, I'd be like, bro, that's 30 miles high. But I figure wizards know how to deal with that. You know?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, so
What's the order called?
Exalted Ring.
The
Exalt.
order of the exalted ring.
Are we going
They
to talk
also-
about how they already have a head start on a space elevator?
I think we need to talk about how their tower looks like a carrot.
I'm sorry, just repeat for me. I was typing. Like
Their
what?
tower looks like a carrot.
What is their thing or their theme shtick?
They are an order of wizards. They
Okay.
are a secret society. They are secluded and elusive, and they they accept members from different schools of magic, and they have one representative from each school.
There, Jake. Now it's a carrot.
Perfect.
I'd visit them, but I don't think I can get that high with an airship.
You can get that high otherwise, though.
Not wrong.
It's the kind of trip that might take about 420 days.
Okay. Cool. Thanks. That brings us to me. Unless you have more to do, Wash.
Well, that was 4 points, and I have 4 left.
Okay.
I am going to use 2 points to command this order. And they are going to start developing. Let's see. I think they're going to start developing the Exalted Ring.
I mean, if they're gonna make
Well-
an order around it, they got to work on it.
I dig
Yeah.
it. Oop.
And I think you have to make an event to create an artifact.
Yes.
So I think that my hope is that they would end up creating this artifact, and I might do that on a later turn. But right now they are accumulating knowledge. They're out traveling and doing this, that,
So
and the
are
other
there
with the
rumors,
intent.
or like where did if this is an item yet to be found or created, are they naming the item after them, or are they naming themselves after some rumor, lore, history thing?
TBD.
Okay. Okay.
I bet they would benefit from connecting with Garlo.
Probably.
I like seriously because he's been collecting all the lore of the world.
Ugh. Alrighty.
And then I've got 2 points left. I'm going to sit on those.
Okay. Cool. It is now my turn.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I am first going to create an event
Ooh,
with my
ready.
9 points. And it is exactly 9 points. Perfect. We're going to do another portal.
Okay.
So many.
We are
portals.
we're going from the mountain range where my newest avatar is.
Okay.
No.
Nope.
Yep. 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 Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
So we're going from there,
Winged Badgers.
from the winged badgers, and then that portal will go to the wishing well.
Ooh.
He keeps tossing his tears into the wishing well.
Remember, the wishing well, Namet, only serves selfless wishes.
Yes, I know.
You know, Trevor.
Hmm.
If I didn't know any better, I'd say you've been playing too much Stellaris.
Why?
Just building gateways everywhere.
No one else is. It takes too long to travel around this world.
Go chasing wishing wells.
Anyways, those are all 9 of my points, and I need to roll for how far my other avatar will move. It'll be 6 tiles. Sweet.
6 tiles. Crossing right over the umbral sea of Gumteus. 2, 3, 4,
Where are they
5,
trying to head?
6. They're heading over to the Kavarites. So you're really close to Fladena.
Oh. Maybe so. Like currently, construction is happening.
No, you haven't quite made it that close.
Oh,
This is where the
okay.
libraries were.
And construction hasn't started yet. I'm planning on doing that on my turn.
Oh, so she will come across the wreckage of it.
That's true.
Yeah.
There may be a stop involved,
That's true.
but isn't it? Okay. Let me first type my portal.
It's like never having seen the pictures of the Eiffel Tower, only hearing about it, and then when you finally reach Paris, all that's left is like just the base supports.
Yeah. It's like, oh yeah, this great like thing of not like, storage of knowledge and market of free trade. This
It's okay,
great
we
thing.
will rebuild.
Gone.
We will rebuild.
Okay. That's my turn. So that brings us to Iwara.
Yay! I'm going to spend 1 point to command my avatar to begin construction on the new Great Market, and I guess if Gomteus is okay with the E2 being in charge of the construction of the library, or at least the constructing part of it, I'd be fine with starting to construct.
I believe
that as
that's all of the construction, is the construct part of it.
Your
You know
avatar Dirt, right?
well. What?
No, he's got
Your
an
avatar
avatar
Dirt.
among the A2 as well.
Oh.
Remember the scientist lady?
Yeah. Sorry,
The one that-
Laredith.
She
Laredith.
Not labeled.
She drafted up the blueprints, and now she's commanding the they're doing it.
Yeah.
And
They're
Then-
going
construction.
places.
There's a band-aid over the
There
library
you
in the
go.
market because she's building it. And that's fine. You can begin construction. Garlo will just come and give input or whatever, but that's fine.
Cool.
When he needs
okay.
to.
Cool.
And then I'm trying to decide what would be like if I were to what should happen in Stainless. Should
It
there
might
be
be
any
time to
next
send out the
steps?
emissaries.
Yeah. So that's Command City, right?
I'd say
Um,
so.
Yeah, as long as
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
yeah. So let me
Cool.
in fact let me change rust free to
Yeah.
stainless.
Yeah. So we're
That-
gonna send out the emissaries to spread the word of Stainless, and that it's a free place for where all civilizations of the known world will have
Cool.
a place to be. And then that will be the end of my turn because I'm trying to save up my points for a thing. So yeah, I have 4 points left at the end of my turn.
Nice.
There we go.
Wow.
That brings us to Kelnor.
All right, boys and girls, we got a plan. I got 18 points.
Yep.
So we're gonna go ahead and do the normal. We made a little. We taught the orcs what it means to be hospital, and and we're gonna take the ones who wanna spread that with us. But first, I've realized that even with picking up people as we go, I just don't have enough manpower to spread the love and the joy. So, I need a way to chill more people out, and I'm gonna create a race, using my godly powers.
Or your avatar.
No.
No.
No, of course not.
Well, if he wants to also command his avatar to go do other things, so he's
That's true.
separation of powers. It's what this nation was built on.
True,
He's
true.
got it, bro. He's got it. So yeah, I'm gonna create a race, but there's only gonna be about 100 of them,
Damn.
and they're gonna be like changelings, except
Didn't
they
we already
can
create a
change.
race of shapeshifters?
We did.
No. There's just.
Or is
I don't
it
think
just
there's
the
a race.
avatar?
It's just the one.
Just
That
my
was
avatar.
just the
avatar.
avatar.
Okay.
So
Cool.
what he's doing is he's splitting parts of himself to
But
create.
it's not command avatar.
No, he's giving it to me,
Okay.
right? Because let's be honest, man. Do you think I can create the same thing twice? All right. I need a bit of the original. So I do that, and from pieces of his body, I create 100 changelings,
Where?
and they're all in the boat.
Oh, okay.
They're the
But-
crew.
Well, I'll let them go as they please. So they may not all stay on the boat. They'll wander the world.
Is Kay still alive, or have you destroyed Kay to create this race?
Oh no, I just you think I needed like entire limbs? I was just like, hey man, I just need some like, can you just like give me some
Hair.
blood, hair.
Okay.
I just need some DNA. I need some building blocks here. All right.
Cool.
I need to cheat.
So did you like
I
talk
need
to
cheat
Kay
sheets.
yourself? Like,
Yeah,
that must have
man.
been a pretty mystical moment for him.
Well, he's my avatar.
He
I
was
say
like,
I think he's pretty.
Yeah,
I think he's pretty
I
divinely
was
connected.
just wondering, do you think Kay, does Kay believe it actually happened, or is he like, that was the best trip?
I think Kay realizes that in the end, does it really matter? Now Kay, realizing that his time is short, for if his god had visited him, his plan needs to accelerate. So, where are we at? Zoom out. We're gonna make one more stop. It's gonna be the last stop.
Okay.
We're going to the Merfolk. They got some really wicked art down there. Did you see some of the stuff they built? Is trippy. So trippy. This got like water and shit. Crazy. I'm just staring at like a waterfall. It's not even a piece of art.
It's just like in the city, like, wow, I love the water features. They're like, it's underwater. So you're
He's like,
going,
that's what I'm saying. It features a lot of water.
and I'm assuming you're going to their
There
city,
are
like where
underwater
the art
waterfalls.
culture is and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you're in Natiri.
We're installing a. I want you to know. I feel like this airship, every time I stop somewhere, just like slowly has more and more area built into it. Almost like
They keep expanding it.
the area inside keeps expanding.
You will, I assume, have to land the airship like off the coast and then walk down on your own, or like leave the airship to wander down in there.
Oh yeah.
to
No.
Natiri.
But I'm gonna build a swimming pool on the airship.
This is slowly just turning into like Royal Caribbean, the airship.
This is why we needed a large airship.
I dig it.
I dig it.
All
I
right.
don't. Just kidding. I do.
That brings
Get
us to the top of the round.
Is that the end of your turn?
Top of the morning to you, laddies. All right. Oh, by the way, just to recall how many points I used. Create race was 14? 15.
15.
15 plus command avatar, so 16 points. I'm left with 2 points.
Yep.
So
I have 16 points this round because I saved up so many points.
I'm working with 8 points.
look at you.
Working with 8.
Working with 10.
I rolled 3 on the die. Plus
Nice.
1. Got 6 points. It's not what I need, but it will do.
No, it's not the points you needed, or you. Never mind. Joke is done. Can't speak. I abandoned that very quickly.
You did like abandon ship really quick there.
Yeah, that's my style.
What's an event?
Slightly less than a catastrophe.
I'm going to as the god, not spending any of my points yet, but I'm interested in connecting with Kelnor a little bit. Kelnor, we are Owara and I are in the process of creating a sort of grand, isolated city-state to which we're hoping every culture can blend and mesh and as you would say, chill. And I was wondering if you wouldn't mind lending perhaps some of your time and your efforts to teaching us how to make it
Whoa.
like awesome for all the different races to go to.
You need to slow down, all right?
Okay.
So you want me to do something?
Yes. I'm hoping. Just hear me out, Kelnor. Let me get to the end of this, okay? Just hear me out, dude. Here's what I'm thinking, and
dude,
this is gonna
believe
be
this
good
guy?
for you too.
I
Kelnor,
can't
this is gonna be
believe
good
him,
for you
man.
too. I've
He
got
doesn't
an
get
offer
it.
for you here, Kelnor. I'm asking you to help us make this city, advance this city in its hospitality. I want it to be a place where everyone can fit in. But in exchange, in exchange, I am willing for us to make this city the home port of your party airship, right? It could be like we can have a festival every year that your party airship is like the headline moment of, to celebrate, to give everyone a chance to get to, because that's what we're trying to do, is cross cultural boundaries here. And so we want everyone to have a chance to like experience different races and get to know different languages and learn from each other's cultures. And how cool would it be if we could celebrate that with
take
this
a
awesome
deep breath.
festival?
And
I need
also,
you to take a deep breath.
hold on. Also, I will say, you know how Kay has been working on that psychedelic funk band? They can be the headliner at the festival. You know what I'm talking about.
At Flyer Festival.
Yes.
All right,
There'll be
listen, bros.
A lot of exotic plants could be there too.
This is a lot at once. So let me just figure this out. All right. I'll make a deal with you. All right. So you want to join forces and like bring my chill, like divine chill, to this plane of existence, physically encompassing this city. You want free thought and everything to like, you want the colors to mix.
Yeah.
You want to create something beautiful and vibrant out of it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like I get you. So this is the cost of that. All right. If you want that city, then everyone there on this holiday, right? Sorry, I was going. Oh, wow. Where was I? Oh, yes. So on the holiday, they need to make a sacrifice.
Oh, no.
All right.
What do they need to sacrifice?
They need to sacrifice their wallets, and not even to me. All right. If they really want to show that they're willing to hospital, all right, they gotta show they're willing to give it up. And I'll be the judge of every year whether or not they deserve the hospital. Which is, of course, the answer is yes every time. But I'll just bring them to my place if they can't host it. You know?
So I think I'm hearing you, but some of these people need a little more direction in their instructions than sacrifice their wallets. So I just want to be sure I'm understanding you. Okay, so let me say it back to you with different words. and you tell me if I'm saying the same thing that you're saying. Is that cool?
Well, if you're just on the same vibe as me, you'd
Well,
get.
are you? I just want to make sure. So you're literally asking us to have the people take their gold and just fling it into a volcano,
I mean, that's one way to
sacrificing
do
their
it.
wallets.
I mean, just think about it, all right? Think deep about what it means to sacrifice your wallet. All right? You can do that in a lot of different ways. Okay?
Dude, I love that.
Dude,
I
know,
love that you're
right?
leaving multiple ways. You're letting them be creative about it. Dude, I'm vibing with it now.
They gotta give back, you know? So if they threw it in the volcano, you know what? I give them I give respect. That's you threw money in volcano. If you threw a lot of it and you had a lot of it, I was like, wow, you're crazy, dude.
Dude.
You're crazy.
And the volcano's having like a great time.
Oh yeah, man.
Owara, what are your thoughts on this proposed exchange?
I have thoughts. Not a huge fan of needlessly sacrificing the currency used for trading of goods and services, as trading is my thing. However, I would be a fan of, let's say they were encouraged to donate the contents of their wallets.
Well, think about it
or
this way,
do
man. How are you
something
gonna fight?
charitable.
How are you gonna fight inflation? You know, as you print money, you're gonna
Theoretically,
have
Inflation is a large
inflation
concept for you, Kelnor.
at
I
an
love-
accelerated rate as your civilization develops.
well,
You know?
theoretically, also, we're operating purely on the trading of goods and services. We don't have a Federal Reserve or anything like that.
I
We're
love
kind
the
of operating on
idea.
something similar to a gold standard, since it seems as though we've established that gold is the standard of our currency.
Yeah,
I
nothing.
love the idea of Kelnor approaching this with like an 18-year-old Instagram influencer's knowledge of economics. How are you gonna fight inflation though, dude?
Listen, man, I named my price. All right,
See?
I don't need you harshing the chill.
I think
But-
we just keep it, goods and services exchange. We don't need a currency. He's
Well-
on to something here.
Well, here's the thing. I do believe that I could be okay with this agreement if it's, instead of literally throwing their gold into a volcano, they give it to charity or they give it to their
They don't
neighbor.
have to throw it into a volcano. He literally said they just have to sacrifice their wallet.
Okay,
So
I'm just trying to clarify, as the goddess of trade.
Yeah, but dude,
I
you
were
can't
not
clarify
literally
it.
throwing.
That's what he's
see,
saying.
he's got it.
It's a vibe.
He's got it.
You got a vibe,
Like-
man.
Can I
it's
say
up to the
Owara?
individual to decide.
Can I say Owara will be okay with it as long as she's able to, like, at least put into the minds of the E2 and her followers that, like, hey, don't just throw away your money. Use
man.
it, but use it in a sacrificial way.
Ideas
really
are
with
in
the
the
vibe.
eyes of the beholder, man.
Let the people decide, man. Get with the vibe.
Fine.
Well, no, I get it. He wants to herd his flock. He wants to be their shepherd. I get it. He can shepherd his flock. That's fine. As long as I determine every year that it's worth it.
All right, so functionally
fine.
speaking,
Yeah.
in terms of points and stuff, I am going to use the command city to establish a festival in exchange for either K the Avatar or Kelnor the god advancing the city with his incredible knowledge of hospitality. Is that's the two right things for those two pieces, right? Like the right commands
You're
I'd say
commanding the
so.
city to build the
to establish a festival.
yeah.
So, okay, so then I'm going to spend 2 of my 8 points commanding the city to establish, what should we call the festival? Wait, don't tell me. I got it. The yearly vibe check.
The yearly vibe check festival?
Yeah.
We have been mostly going by fantasy names. Do we want to call the festival the yearly vibe check?
No way, I got you. All right. Big brain moment here.
Uh-huh.
The vibeth checketh.
I'm done with either of those names.
What about the festival of the festival of the vibe? I feel like that sounds a little bit more like believable.
How about Festival of Vibrantness?
No, I think I'm leaning away from vibrantness because that's a different word than vibe. I think it means
Yeah.
something else.
Well, you guys
Why
wanted
make
the
it a
big
day
words.
when you can make it the month of mellow?
The month of
Dude.
Mellow.
The
Ooh,
month of
dude.
mellow. Bruh.
The month of
I
mellow
vibe with that.
follows.
Zanir has entered the chat, am I
Wait.
right?
What if we have both, right? You have the day of crazy vibes and then the month of mellow.
Or would the month of Mellow come before the day of Crazy?
No, it comes after because if you're gonna if you're gonna wake me up in the morning the next day, you're gonna have a bad time.
The month of mellow and followed by the day of the vibe.
There you go.
Hmm.
I mean, there could be many holy days within the month of mellow. It could
Right.
start with, mellow first, which is vibe check.
Mellow
And
Monday.
then, halfway through is
Yeah, actually, I
is
like
wallet day.
I like if we leave it open to interpretation because it gives Kelnor a chance to like speak into what's happening each year. You know.
That's
What do
the
you think?
vibe, you know.
Wait,
Yeah.
Kelnor, you said it was the party first and then the month of Mellow?
I don't know, man. Y'all are going crazy with it over
Let's just
there.
call it the month of mellow.
Month
We're
of
gonna,
Mellow.
We're gonna
Got it.
leave it at the month of mellow. Fill it with holy days.
I'm gonna show up. Things are gonna happen.
Okay, so 2
You
points
are
to
going to go
command.
down to the mortal world?
Whoa. I gotta show up in spirit, you know?
You have your avatar for that.
Yeah, but an entire city
All right.
vibe checking? You're telling me you wouldn't physically manifest in some spiritual way in the minds of people literally worshiping you in the most direct way possible?
No.
And that's the
That's
difference
fair.
between Kelnor and Kotix.
All right. I'm gonna spend 1 point on my avatar, Garlel.
Okay.
I'm going to command Garlel to essentially refound the Eos Lore Foundation. And to do so, he's going to travel to Zanir's floating peak, and found the foundation like at the base of the library, where the library is being constructed. So he's taking his converts basically with him, or his recruits with him, and explaining. It's almost like a bardic college. So he's taking them on a short pilgrimage and teaching them and explaining how the Lore Foundation works, and then he will eventually leave them. But for now, he is just north of the city of Scylla or Scylla, teaching the new Eos Lore Foundation. And they've probably got like 2 or 3 survivors who are still out in the world, but a lot of them were on the library and got wiped out. So he's reforming the order. I'm going to spend another point on Navrok, the gentleman thief.
Yep.
Navrok is going to establish the world's first thieves guild. He's going to establish a thieves guild, and it's going to simply be called Recovery Inc. And that's what they do. They recover stuff that has been stolen. So that's a thing that's happening over here in Udril, and Recovery Inc. will be based in the dwarven city of Hargrim. That will be their home base.
Dude.
How do you spell
Little guys running
Hargrim?
around.
Hargrim.
Got it.
Hargrim. Recovery
And is
Inc.
that your turn?
No, that leaves me with 4 points.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
I'm just deciding whether I should use them or not.
Up to you, man.
Thanks, man.
Following that chill vibes. I'm feeling it, Kelnor.
Taking over the universe, man.
I'm going to spend 3 of my remaining points to command a race.
Okay.
I'm going to command the newly chilled and slightly purified orcs of Briannia to reach out to the humans of Apesh across the way and attempt to form like a peace with them. because they were the ones that they got concerned about as the humans got more corrupt, and and then the armies in the distance. But I want them to form a peace with their neighbors to see if they can grow a little bit with each other, and
Should we roll
especially
for
if
that?
some of their purity will rub off. And I think that's a great idea to roll for that. It's a +1 and a -1, so that feels like a straight D20 roll to me.
I'm fine with that.
All right. Kotix, decide if it's over or under 10 that we want.
Over.
We rolled an 8. They are unable to establish peace. Does this cause war?
Yes.
Does everyone else think so too?
That was just my
So
first
what were they
instinct.
originally trying to do?
They were trying
Make
to
peace.
just basically establish a relationship with the humans across the lake here. So the tribal stoner orcs have a militia, but they don't want to seem too threatening to their neighbors. It's a militia for defense. So they send envoys over to Athamont, attempting to sort of create a formalized peace. We'll leave you alone, you leave us alone. Maybe we can trade some goods and services. And it went poorly for them.
I would say roll again. It almost seems like the first roll is like how well the orcs did, and if we did a second roll for the humans to see how well or poorly they respond.
My
if it's high,
secondary-
I say they remain peaceful.
My
Okay.
secondary opinion is the first step after bad like interactions diplomatically isn't usually straight to war. It's to like closed borders and hey, we don't like you and we're letting you know that, but we're not attacking you.
It's an escalation
My
towards.
tertiary opinion is this is some really good druid plant.
It is. You're welcome.
Wash, what were you saying at the back end of that? Like mechanically, you want me to roll again and
Oh, if it's high, they remain peaceful.
Okay.
If it's low,
Yeah,
but
but if it's low, then they have a bad reaction to it. Essentially,
I rolled a 19, so that seems like the minor escalation, like Jake talked about. Like there's sort of a bad sentiment towards each other, but they're not like fighting or anything. They're just like, wow, those dudes, like they really harshed the vibe.
Like in the
A
game
Cold War.
Stellaris, when you start first establish bad relations with an enemy, with another civilization, there's closed borders. Then
That
on the
leaves me
second
with 1
incident,
point,
there
and
is
I'll
war.
keep it. Go ahead, Zinir.
I got you, Jake. I got you.
When are
We could have just played
Okay,
like
so-
a Civ game to simulate everything.
That's fair.
after all of this time, Zinir is going to return to his mountain, to Zinir's Peak, the one that he thrust into the air, and he's quite happy with all of the development that has gone over here and everything. And he really likes the structure. He really likes the logic and the order of the trade, and the development of electricity and whatnot, balancing out the proliferation of nature and whatnot.
I will say I totally
And,
never knew that this was your floating peak. When I created, I totally missed the fact that it was Zinir's floating peak. I hope this isn't going to come back and bite me, which I think it will. But here, go ahead.
Ooh, no, not at all. Not at all. Not
I
at
think it's gonna
all.
come back
I
and
essentially
bite
cut
me.
the top of a mountain. I cut the top of a mountain and threw it into the sky, and really left it just to be for the time being. And I'm really proud, Aurora, of what you've done with it. And I think that it's become a jewel in the world. But what I'm going to do is I am going to I believe I don't need to have anything fancy to create an order in a city.
That is
Like
true.
I don't need an avatar or anything.
No.
You can just create an order.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I am going to create an order in the city.
In
There
Sila.
is a city, right?
the
yeah,
city of
Cilia,
Silo.
Yeah.
And it's going to be called the Summit Banking Guild.
I like this.
Yes, and so they are going to be a banking guild. There, the trade is starting to increase, especially back and forth between the E2 and the Darude. We've got a lot of airships floating around and whatnot. I feel like there needs to be some order brought together, a standardized currency. And go ahead.
For guilds, some could say they're at the top of their game.
That's right.
Sorry, that was.
No, you're fine. You're fine. How much is it to command order? It's only 2 points. I'm going to command them to... Oh, man. Nope, yep, I got it. I'm going to command them to develop a standardized currency that is used. They're going to try and use their influence to like standardize this, within trade and whatnot, called Wingle digits, and it's pulled from our wonderful friend Kelnor and his idea of trading Wingle digits back and forth.
I'm so happy that they took on that. Dude, single digits are so cool.
I don't know how I feel about trying to impose a standard currency on all the cultures of the world.
I am against.
Oh, I didn't expect you to like that.
Bro, what if you like...
And it's not imposing, it's offering. They can choose to accept the standard.
There is still
currency.
a market of
They can choose
currency,
not to.
and because of this, Awara supports it.
So what you're saying is they're not trying to demand that everyone trade with their currency. They're offering their currency as a way for like different cultures to trade with each other.
So this is more not so much a control, but order. It's like it's bartering is messy. It's like who knows the value of a goat, and this, that, and the other, and it can be. This gives like a nice standardized currency that it makes things simpler.
Like
and
the
it
North
creates
speak
an
up,
order
like
around
why
trade.
goats got to be property.
Value of a goat is very dependent on said goat and its individualized properties. You can't put a value on a goat.
Zanir,
So real talk, the only reason I brought up goat is because it's from an old cartoon with Scrooge McDuck, where he talks about the value of a goat.
Zanir, I got something for you, alright? For Wingle digits. Alright, so the hardest part of currency, right, is backing it up and making people believe in it. So what if the currency itself was completely valuable and could never lose that value? What if you somehow imbued it with magical properties that anyone could use at any time, but it destroys the currency? It would give it instant value.
Like a single charge cantrip kind of thing?
Kind of just single charged energy. Like it just is physical manifestations of energy.
Oh, like a battery?
The vibes in us, right? And you imbue it with magic vibes. And thus, it'd be small amount of vibes, right? And then for the bigger denominations, bigger vibes.
So what happens if you expel that energy? Or use up the coin?
If you use up the coin, you destroy the currency. So if you want to use it for crazy magical vibes, you have to spend money. But if you want to use it as money...
I don't think you understand the concept of trade.
It's,
Because if I give you a watermelon and you spend a coin on me, and when you spend it to me, it's destroyed, I don't have the Wingle digit anymore.
well, no, it's only spent when you want to use it for its raw value.
I believe Zanir, if I might help Kelnor.
So what you're wanting to say is that we're going to be trading in drugs, consumable narcotics.
Whoa. Well, that's a harsh way to put it.
I feel like when you put it in a box like that, man.
You don't need to label it, all right?
I can't handle it.
Just freeze-dried coffee, man. It's just freeze-dried coffee. I mean, I'm not really smelling what you're stepping in, but if you want to elaborate a little bit more,
I'm with you, Kelnor, on this one. If we make it a thing that's usable,
Well,
I'd be okay with
I
that.
feel like that could be already done with the coin itself. Like Zanir hasn't even talked about what the coins or what the currency is made of, or like how it really works, or even what it's backed by. I appreciate Kelnor's thought, and I think that it could go somewhere. But I do think that giving it a
I
single
appreciate
use,
my thought.
giving it a single use thing like that, I feel like creates a volatility to the currency that, depending on how easily it can be manufactured and how the value is going to be, like, I don't know, backed necessarily. Could
It's a
be
thought that could go
Well, that's what I
somewhere,
was
like
gonna
right
ask
in the
you,
cosmic
Gilmar.
suggestion box.
That's what I was going to ask, Kellen. It's like with its consumption, there's a use there, but then how would you create such a thing?
You
Because it'd have to
create
be.
it by using the same amount of vibes. You reverse the process, right? But you would have to imbue it just right, and thus you have to have a mint. Like
I think it'll be
mint
through a magical
flavor.
process, is what it sounds
Why
like.
would you use
So-
mint? I thought you would use like something stronger.
No, sorry, I got sidetracked. That's what they call the place where they stack the coins, right?
Oh, okay.
But I like mint flavor. Anybody got any mints?
Yeah, I got some. We grow plenty.
Oh, thank you. But yeah, no, you do like the whoa, but you only do it in like certain areas because it requires high skill. But you could do it with any base metal or really anything, so that way you don't have to worry about using gold.
Oh, he's
Right.
saying we use it can be imbued onto any material, but will require a very specific set of magical skills by powerful people as not to be duplicated by the common folk.
What I do have is a very particular set of magic
Yeah.
skills.
I was gonna go there.
So what you're saying is that it doesn't matter what the digit is, as long as it contains Wingle.
Yes. He gets it, bro. He gets it.
I can get behind this now.
I'm just imagining like Wingle farms out there with people who are just really chill and vibing and cranking out Wingle digits
How do you make sure
as an
how do you-
occupation.
We made it so far at taking this world building seriously. We got so far. We're at the end of the final age.
so the third age is like when the world stops taking
We
itself
thought it was like the
seriously.
age of industrialization, but it's actually the age of enlightenment.
So
I feel like a business person with a tie who's just sitting next to a schooner, like across the beach, and like, so, good sir, like I understand that you're saying the word vibe, but could you please elaborate what a vibe is?
An illegal definition, please.
How would you quantify vibe, and what sort of vibe would consider enough Wingle to propagate the digit?
Who would you call the target
All right.
audience of a vibe?
I just want to make sure, Kelnor, that before I maybe even lend, I don't know if my stamp of approval even matters, but before I lend
Oh, it's
it,
happening regardless of if you want or not.
I would like
man.
to make sure that the Wingle digit, the vibe magic needed to make a Wingle digit, isn't so easy or so common that it. Whoa! I see an
Hey.
alert.
Zap with the subscription
Oh.
Let's
for
go.
the Wingle Digit vibes.
We got the Wingle digits coming in, boys.
Sir
And the
T says,
currency
Go.
propagated across the planet.
Yo, we just hit our 2 subs goal for this stream.
Let's go.
Hey, well,
Let's
technically someone subbed
go.
before we were live, but hey, thanks to them too. You
Yeah.
all matter to us.
Okay, but the magic necessary to create a Wingle digit isn't so easy or so plentiful that it can just be done. Like counterfeit won't be a problem, will it?
No, because this is what you do, right? You use what is that magic called? Enchantments, right? But you use a very specific enchantment that has a visible aura, right? That way you can tell that it's done right. Because otherwise, using this specific attachment enchant. I'm gonna need a second, bros.
Take
Okay,
your
I'm
time.
back.
Take your time.
I'm back. All right, so
I'm
You-
gone. Oh no.
I noticed that. You enchant it, right? And if you put too much into it, it blows up. And if you don't put enough, you can never pull it
So
out.
it can be volatile.
So you make
Nice.
it volatile, which requires great skill. And you know, you need the right mind for it. You know?
Okay. Other question. What does the single-use magic even do? Have we even established that?
It's raw magic.
It's just
man.
narcotics, isn't it?
It's raw magic. So you make a spell, but you can use it instead of your own, you know, reservoir of energy.
So it's like a mana, like a single-use mana thing. Okay.
So I guess for
Are we
mechanic purposes,
creating an economy?
yeah,
Are we creating an economy that deals in spell slots?
yeah.
In a way, I think so. Which
'Cause it
makes
sounds
sense in a
like-
way. That sounds really cool.
Mechanically, it
this.
sounds
Is
like
it-
the lowest denomination, whatever we decide to call it, will be like a cantrip, and then the next denomination up would be first level, and so on.
Oh,
But you still gotta direct the vibes, bro.
Yo, we've got a redemption. We got to name something after Sir T-Sav. I feel like Sir T-Sav would be a great name for the leader of the Summit Banking Guild. He's got like a monocle.
Sir T-Sav. Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah, Sir T-Sav. Sir Topham Sav.
Sir Topham Sav.
Yes. Sir Topham Sav. Make it lore.
The leader of the banking
Write
guild.
it in the books.
I will put the leader
I'm
of
gonna do
the guild to be the Sir. What is it? Sir Topham Sav.
Yeah, Sir
Sir
Topham
Topham
Sav.
Sav.
Yep, Sir Topham Sav.
I'm sorry. I really derailed, you know, this
I am-
conversation.
I am all for Wingle digits being spell slot containers. I mean, because that's like there's only so many that you get per day. That makes it a limited resource. You can consume them. You can trade them. I mean, that's.
I like that
I mean,
a lot.
spell slots are valuable, man.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
You know, you can even
bro.
just have like a spell create Wingle digit. You know.
Yeah. And I feel
And-
like they need to be like a scarce resource in the world as well. Like an entire year's salary might be only a level 1 spell slot kind of a deal. Like because there's
This
so
is
much
how
more
you do it,
powerful.
bro.
So would we have fractions
You
then?
need
Fractionals
small
for lower
digits.
currency?
You need small digits, all right?
Or like you
Hear
can
me
add a
out.
bunch of them up together to get one
Yeah.
a first level
Add
spell
them
slot?
together to get a vibe going. All right. So individually they can't do anything, but as a unit, as a
And for the-
vibe.
Guys, for the festival, they could instead
Flyer
of just
Festival.
throwing in the month, the mellow month, instead of throwing their wallets into a volcano, they spend it on the vibe and make the event even
Oh, they-
more
yeah.
better.
They use their
crack
Wingle
all
digits.
of their Wingle digits,
Let's
and it's just like a raw
go.
consumption of magic.
Yeah,
Yes.
man,
I want to
it's the Burning Man of this world.
if I can take a second
I
to
love this.
if I could take a second to break the wall here between viewer and entertainers, just because TSAV showed up in the middle. TSAV, this is called Dawn of Worlds. It's a world building game where we are creating the actual world that we're going to use when we play Dungeons and Dragons. And each of us is representing a god of that world. So, like, I'm Gomtius, god of chaos. Zanir, god of order, is Washburnello, our collaborator. Trevor is Kotix, god of nature. Jake is Owara, goddess of trade and technology. And Matt is Kelnor, god of good vibes, I mean hospitality. And so we each get points each round that we can spend to shape the world. And Wash, Zanir, the god of order, has just spent points creating a guild that is basically the world's first bank, which you are now in charge of as Sir Topham Sav. You are now the sort of the bank manager. You're the dude who denies loans to poor people. And so that's what's actually happening right here. And we've got this whole map, which if you stick around till the end of the stream, which I don't think is too far off, I'll give you a recap of everything else that's happening. Also, apparently Sir Topham Sav has to be at least a little bit corrupt. So if we make him a little bit self-absorbed, I feel like that's gonna
Is
be
that
in
minus
keeping
one?
with the wishes of Sir T-Sav. Yeah, let's
Do
give
you
it
have
-1.
Wingle digits playing in your background? Wait,
Heck yes.
is that what I see? Wash?
Yeah.
That's so cool. I didn't even see that until just now.
That's
Wingle.
crazy.
It's just an iPad. It's
That's
just
fun.
an iPad app.
That's fun though.
Yeah, that is fun. I like it.
I'm in.
Dude,
Um,
this is great.
Yeah,
So I think we're all behind
so
Wingle
Wingle
digits now.
Yeah.
Yep. And so I think so. Just to recap, Wingle digits are a form of currency that can take any shape, any form, but it is imbued with magical energy through a spell. Create Wingle digit, and there is create greater Wingle digit and create lesser Wingle digit. I would say I would leave it up to the DM for like the demarcations. If it's like, how many spell slots per lesser, greater, or just a straight Wingle digit.
Benny boy, welcome back in the chat. We'll be back to you. I'm letting Watch talk.
So we have established a currency. Yeah, any way, shape, or form, as long as it creates enough, as long as it contains enough magical energy.
So to clarify,
And-
we've literally made the pieces of 8 from Pirates of the Caribbean, like whatever they
Yeah.
happen to have in their pockets at the time.
But with spells.
This is fun.
I like to imagine you're like, you pull out your lint and it's just, it's like, you got like a button in your pocket. It's a bucket, ball of lint, and a couple of pebbles, but they're like, yeah, this is a greater. This is also greater. These are two lesser. So can I buy a house with this?
See, that's fantastic though, because it's like you could cast detect magic and you'd see the aura around it and
You
the
would know
school
exactly
of magic
how much
for the
it's
wing. And you
worth.
could just
Yeah.
identify which. Yeah.
You could
I
use
love
the
that.
spell identify.
I love
You
it.
could.
I mean, don't we want them to have some sort of like magical rune that the spell just etches onto said thing?
I'm sure that would make it.
I think those are
Easy to
details that
identify.
can maybe wait until we're in game.
Oh,
and
yeah,
we're
fair.
fleshing that out
That's
just to
fair.
make sure
Yeah.
we keep the
Yeah,
game moving here.
that'd be like bit Wingle digits.
Sorry, I just got excited. This is like a fun idea.
This is
It
a
is
fun
a
idea.
fun idea.
Um,
Great work,
a
Kelnor and
super
Zanir.
super side thought is that the magical energy of Wingle digits would appear to benefit, when consumed, spellcasters, but would they grant any benefit to a non-spellcaster?
Ooh.
Interesting.
I think the value of Wingle digits would have to assume that they can give benefit to a non-spellcaster. Like otherwise, they would be really unevenly valued.
Well,
So,
they
like,
can
the-
use them
It would
as
almost
the currency.
create like a high society of wizards who deal in magic and control the creation and consumption of currency.
This is
T-Sav in the chat asks, how often are spells used? In general, typical D&D, spells are fairly common, especially in the edition we're going to be playing 5th edition. Everybody's got some magic at their disposal, but because we're creating this world, and perhaps this was already on my mind, you may have touched on something that might happen, we have the ability as the gods to sort of decide how scarce or prevalent magic is in the world. But as players in D&D, everybody has access to at least some magic, and then some classes have access to a lot. If you think of it like Skyrim or Borderlands, like you can class into certain things. And so if your class is a wizard, then you have tons of magic. If your class is like a paladin, which is sort of like a divine warrior, then you might only have a little bit. So it kind of depends on how you build your character out and what you create. But spells are fairly common.
the what I would say though is like this is true that then you kind of have a divine class, but like I was a bit under the impression, like I guess they would be controlled by the banking guild or whatever, right? Like the banking guild controls this currency. So
Basically, your average man can't create it, but I feel
Yeah.
like they could still make use of it in some way.
yeah,
Otherwise, its value doesn't apply to the common.
I still think like
Oh,
it makes magic more prevalent.
Why are we suing magic?
Yeah, I'm just watching T-Sav have like a breakdown over here. He's like his own Karen. He's like, why are you suing magic, me?
What?
I don't-
So like you could end up going to wizard school and paying a whole bunch of tuition, and then expect to spend like the first 2 years after you graduate cranking out Wingle digits to pay off your debt.
Sure. I mean,
Oh.
that is if you can. But that I would assume the job of cranking out Winkle digits is still somewhat like scarce because you
No,
can't
that's
just
its
always
own-
crank out Winkle digits.
That's its own school of magic, is just cranking out Wingle digits.
One would think
Financial-
so.
It's financial
Yeah,
magic.
it's
Here,
like the business majors of magic.
What would that
Hear
be
me out.
called?
Scrolls are a thing, right?
Economancy.
Yeah.
Economancy. Ooh, I like that.
Scrolls are a thing, right?
Absolutely.
So, what if you just had scrolls with no magical power? Like they're inscribed correctly.
That's called paper.
All right, you got me there.
I realized now that he said scrolls, I thought he said squirrels. And I was like, yes, squirrels are a real thing. Like, what the heck are you talking about? And then
Squirrels
you're
aren't
like-
real.
and then
Imagine
you're
a
like,
world
what if we had
of
squirrels
squirrels
that
with
were
no
not
magic.
magical? Like, yeah, what about those mundane squirrels that don't have spells? I know normal ones do.
Okay. What I'm saying is, you have like a tool for people who don't know any magic to outlet Wingle digits
Yeah.
as like a
Yeah,
form
so
of
if it
maybe
was like a form of
self-defense.
paper currency, but then it's like becomes a consumable spell scroll.
Well, I'm thinking like
Exactly.
the Wingle digits or whatever you want, right? But then you can like explode them into raw mana and funnel it through a tool.
Hmm.
That makes sense. If you're a non-magic user, you have tools that are created specifically to make use of Wingle
Like a
digit.
Winkle digit creator, or like
For-
use,
But-
yeah.
To
You
answer
use a
T's-
Wingle digit to create Wingle digits.
To answer T-Sav's question in
circle.
chat, you asked T-Sav if we're starting with Wingle digits or if they're earned. Again, in standard D&D, which we're getting further and further away from, in standard D&D, you do start with some amount of gold. But I'm not sure. Like a Wingle digit by itself we're gonna start at level 1 at the very beginning. So a Wingle digit by itself may be too powerful for someone with no renown in the world to begin with. So they may start with some fractional number, but they will start with some currency, whatever the world currency will be. They'll end up with some of it. And it also may depend on where in the world they choose for their characters to be from. Like, I know you haven't been watching, but for example, we have a kingdom way over here that's like a dwarven kingdom. That king may have his own currency of just like gold and gemstones when you're in that kingdom that may not be traded anywhere else in the world. Whereas this bank is attempting to make Wingle digits like not a worldwide currency, but like a trade currency. So if you want to trade with other cultures, Wingle digits are like the go-between. So,
So I'm
I'm
thinking
excited,
like
T-Sav. I'm here for it.
I think you make a wand
to
of
bring it-
fire, right? And then the more Wingle digits you put into it, you can use a cantrip that's a fire spell, or a first level or a second level spell that's related to fire.
Oh, I
don't
like
know.
the idea that non-magic users can use Winkle digits, but only if it's channeled through something.
Not,
like
to,
that idea.
not to be a little bit of a broken record, but I'd like to suggest to the Pantheon that we work out the minutia of Wingle digits later in the interest of getting more world
They're
building
just
done.
so
That's
cool,
fair.
bro.
They are
I'm
cool.
just
Yeah,
saying
I was
we're
gonna
not
say,
innovating. We're not creating.
To bring it around, we'll say that Wingle digits have been established as this magical currency,
Yes.
and that Matt, your idea, I think that's a fantastic idea to create an order and have them develop like some sort of technology, or like advance a city to develop a technology around Wingle digit usage.
Got you.
Josh, as the DM of the upcoming game, I would recommend you look into soul coins and the Descent into Avernus campaign setting,
Okay.
because they are currency that is consumable magic, and might be a decent,
Soul coins
jumping
from,
off
from
point
what was the
for
name of the game?
Descent into Avernus.
Okay. Luckily, I keep a whiteboard on my desk at all times, so
Nice.
Prepared.
So, what did I do on my turn? I made
all
an
you've done
order
is
You,
rank
with
the
4
guild so far, I
points.
think.
You created an order
Yeah.
called the Summit Banking Guild, whose leader is Sir Topham
Sir
Sav.
Topham Sav.
You
And then I
commanded them to develop
commanded the
a
order.
standardized currency that is used within
Oh.
the trade called Wingle digits, where they can act as a spell
Wingle
slot.
digits asterisk.
Yeah.
Asterisk.
Okay. And I had 10 points, so that brings me down to 4, bring me to 6.
So you created an order and you commanded the order.
4. So I have 4 points left. You know, I'm gonna hang on to the 4. I've been
Okay.
liking that little bit of a bump.
Cool.
Good turn, guys. Good turn. Good round.
That was an
Nice.
intense turn. That
That
wasn't even
was.
the run. Yes.
We're not even done yet.
I
I
feel
know
like
Sav's putting together a crisis.
I feel like Kotix is within a reasonable distance that we could assume that I can't remember the avatar's name, but that this avatar makes it to Floodana this turn. Does that seem fair to everybody?
Yeah.
We're only 60 miles away.
Is there construction currently happening there in the lore? Like,
No, the construction is happening up on the floating.
oh,
peak.
okay. Oh, okay. Never mind then. Yeah. she's
Floodana
just
does
going-
have
I'm
advanced
sorry.
architecture. Yeah.
Can I do a thing real quick? I had another plan. I had forgotten about it. It's
Sure.
a really quick thing.
Yeah.
I'd like to do command order again, which is going to drop me down to 2 points.
Okay.
Okay.
And I'd like to command my Darude shipwrights to do some development on their airships. With the absence of the dust cloud that was previously powering their ships, now their ships aren't really magically propelled by the dust cloud. But I want to have them develop a sort of new. So essentially, the ships, I want them to be locked at a altitude.
Okay.
Like there is a magical invisible sea level that is above sea level, that the airships ride on, and that the almost like the buoyancy of the wood just kind of floats there, and so they can still sail. You can kind of push them down or like up
Sail.
if you can kind of get bounce and stuff, but they kind of hang at a certain altitude.
All right, so like density, right, goes up and down when it's heavy, when it's denser or less dense. What if there's that with magic in the air?
Like, are you saying you're gonna put like a magical veil around this planet?
No, I feel like there's already wild magic, but you put so much magic. It's like the opposite of density, right? You put so much magic into a ship that its buoyancy shoots it up to an altitude. I'm just talking, all right?
I'm not sure about the minutia, but I want them to develop something
Okay.
that is like that like locks them to an altitude. This isn't Wingle digits, guys. We don't have to dig into it too much.
Magic is the answer.
Kelnor's going on a trip right now, all right?
Heck yeah.
All right. Kotex,
Anyway,
sorry about
that
that.
brings us to me. So since my avatar has made it to the Dragonborn city, first off, how well received is she?
She went to the Dragonborn or to the dragons, because she made it to the dragons this turn.
Yeah, the dragons.
Okay, the Kavarites receive her well. Okay, T-Sav, what's your crisis? What you doing to us?
Crisis. Crisis.
Congratulations, Kotex.
So, Jakes.
The crisis is that everyone becomes a seamstress. We're all sewing.
Nice.
Our significant
Or-
other shows.
I was about to
up.
say everyone
Oh,
starts
no.
dating and they have significant others.
But I'm married, man.
Gomteus isn't married. Josh is married.
triangles are
There's
now
a difference.
mandatory.
Basically an EMP, but it prevents all magic for multiple turns. So we just have no magic for like 5 years.
Well, it's multiple turns.
Yeah, if you say multiple turns, that's like I'm thinking 2 rounds maybe, like 10 years of
Okay.
no
And
magic.
what I was about to say when it became my turn was I'd be okay if this round or the next round were the last one. I'm not sure about you guys. I'm in a good spot with my stuff. But
I do have one last thing I'd like to do. But I think I might be able to get it done depending on how many points I get next roll.
It's up to the group. If everyone else is feeling comfortable, then we can wrap in the next 2 rounds maybe.
I mean, there's always more I could do, but I'm
good
fine
with that.
regardless.
Yeah.
So 10 years? No magic for 10 years?
Yes. And that would be, just to clarify, I agree that like with what T-Sav's saying here, huge pulse prevents magic for a certain amount of time. I think the gods themselves still have access to their magic because otherwise we can't world build. But for like the actual people on the earth, and do we think the avatars get magic? Should we roll for them?
I don't. I think just magic is completely cut off.
Yeah, I think that'd be really interesting.
So what are the ramifications of this? Obviously,
Wingle digits doesn't take off.
for real.
You like learn how to develop this currency. You're like, yeah, guys, we got the next hot thing, and then all of a sudden they just all break.
Wow,
And
this is
So the floating peak is magically suspended.
bro.
No.
Dude. Oh.
The portals, I would say, close.
Oh, yeah, any portals closed.
Yeah.
The
mean,
wishing
you don't-
well.
You don't have to like edit this job because like
These
it comes
are
back.
disaster.
Well, some of these things don't. Like I feel like a portal that closes doesn't just randomly reopen again. Like a portal is self-sustaining, right? So if it's not running, it's not generating the energy to keep itself open.
I'd say roll for it.
Okay.
Maybe.
We've
But
got
yeah,
3
like,
portals on
maybe
the map.
not.
We
I
can roll
mean-
for each one.
I spent so many points forming portals. If they just go away
Well,
and
that's
never
why
come
it's
back,
a crisis, dude. That's what makes it a
I
crisis.
know.
I mean, we're talking about my fountain of selfless wishes going away.
will that permanently be gone too?
We
I
can
mean, if
roll
the-
for it.
I mean, that is Josh's
I would-
fountain. So if Josh feels like he wants it to go away forever, he can make it do that.
That's
Oh, true.
I feel like so here's the question. I don't think the fountain needs to keep itself sustained. Like it may just do nothing for 10 years and then the magic comes back. Versus like a portal, I feel like it's the energy of a portal that keeps the portal open, right? Like you would need to summon a new portal once it's closed. That seems like everywhere I've ever seen a portal in lore, it's not like it just sort of comes back on its own. It's like you have to expend energy to create a new portal where it was.
You have to
So
expend
let's
energy
think
to
about
create
this too.
energy.
And if it's like an EMP shock wave, EMPs will actually fry electronics. They overload electronics and destroy components. And then, once the shock wave is passed, electronics that were not damaged can continue to function. I don't know if we want to operate under that same premise, but that would
Like a
totally
solar
short out
flare.
portals.
Yeah, that would for sure
Yeah.
shut out portals. And he did specify,
but
by
I
the way,
would
that
say-
it's like an EMP, but only for magic. So we can at least say the A2's electricity are ignored here.
Yeah.
Sure.
Right. I would also say that the portals are probably not just like circular, like discs of energy. There's probably some sort of frame, or some sort of thing that was generated around them. So we still would have like an old relic of where a portal would that might be able to be reactivated, or they're like the foundations of a portal would be there.
I like that.
Yeah. I like that too.
I like that a lot. So every portal is now a relic gateway.
Yeah.
Rip the poor winged badgers who never got to go to the fountain of selfless wishing.
T-Sav's like, drop that floating island.
Yeah, dude, I think the island might be coming down if it's suspended
Yeah.
by magic. I think that may be happening.
Would that also just like
Um,
what? Oh no!
Pompeii!
Well,
It's Pompeii!
and then also would our new floating library?
I feel like we should
and-
roll to see if they're done or not, because they've been worked
True.
on for a while.
Okay.
If that feels fair to everyone else. If you guys want them to just be tanked, I'm open to it. But I feel like since they've already been working on them, maybe we roll to see if they got finished.
So here's the thing
They're
about the
definitely getting
island too,
damaged.
is that it's the top of a mountain, so it's a peak. It's
Yeah.
not flat, and it's dropping into a sea that's underneath. Like it's
Yeah.
not just dropping to ground level; that was carved out underneath. So it's gonna hit water and
Yeah.
deep water
the
too. I think
area.
we already established that was really deep.
It is super
so the
deep.
mountain base was carved down. So there might be.
But
like,
remember,
everything's gonna
we're
get
not
your
we're not
socks rocked
exactly
off.
we're not exactly over the water anymore. We're partially over land because we were pushed.
That's true.
Oh dang!
Hi, Ari. Welcome to
You're
the
right.
chat. TSAV ruined everything. It's awesome. We're still figuring out the ramifications of his crisis. This is amazing. TSAV
So
shut
that means
magic
that
out of the
island's
world.
gonna go like this. It's gonna hit and it's gonna turn.
Yeah.
It's kind of tilt towards the
and it's
water.
gonna-
I'd say since it's like mostly over land, like the edge will dip a little bit, but it's not gonna like
Oh, yeah.
completely tip over.
I do think
Yeah, you're right.
that because most of the population of the island has wings and can fly, a lot of people make it out alive.
Yeah.
It's just that the infrastructure gets
Also-
destroyed.
It's
How-
hey without the casualties.
How high is the island in
Benny
the air?
boy, we can talk about licensing rights after. No, I'm just kidding.
Beanie Boy is like, can I just screenshot and film this and turn it in for my school? Your world is much better than my Unreal thing.
So I'm with you
I
guys so
wish,
far on
man.
the falling mountain peak. Here's the question. Scylla, which is the city and therefore the most densely populated part, appears to be either on the edge or overhanging the water. Does the weight of that mean that the section with Scylla chips off of the mountain and falls into the water when it
I think-
impacts the ground?
The city's gone. I think the city's gone.
So, also looking at the elevation of the ground, like it's sloping north.
Right.
And if I remember, if I remember my verbiage when I made that, I cut straight. So
You
the
did.
bottom of that whole thing is flat.
Yeah.
So there's a good chance that it could just crack off, and the rest of it just slides.
Yeah. Right
Yeah.
here.
North.
Right here is that line. So if it cracks here and slides that way, and then the rest of it slides this way, this is where the elevation peaks, and then it's
Yeah.
fairly
I'm
flat over
actually
here.
I'm good with that. That sounds good.
Okay, so we need to roll to see whether our 2 floating structures were completed in time.
What about
Um,
Avatar?
Does he
The-
fly? Oh,
It-
he's Dragon
Yeah,
Ball.
they're
No,
yeah,
she flies, yeah.
Okay.
yeah, they're both flying creatures. I'm gonna roll. I'm assuming it's higher number since we want them to be in the air, right? That feels right.
Yeah.
Higher than 10.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I roll for the. Am I rolling or are you rolling, Josh?
I'm rolling for the library, and you're
And
rolling,
I'm
for the
rolling
market.
Okay. I got an 8. That doesn't bode well.
The library nat one.
Oh dear.
Library nat one. I feel like it's got to be worse than just bad.
So
I-
no.
All of the knowledge is lost.
Here we go. Hear me out. So you're like the construction crew, and everyone's like, "Yeah, we did it!" Like they put the last piece in, and then the island drops, and then
All the books are in it.
yeah,
Okay, wait. Let me offer a counterpoint and see if you guys are okay with this as a version of the crisis. In a selfless attempt to preserve the knowledge that he has spent so long gathering, and through 2 versions of the Eos Lore Foundation, which he's had to refound, Garlel is able to get some percentage of it, maybe 10% out and into the hands of his new recruits in exchange for going down with the library. So he sends out, like, the Lore Foundation survives and takes with it, like, the basis of who they are. So they have the knowledge to continue rebuilding and reforming, but Garlel dies in sacrifice. So my avatar on the world dies in that act of, like, selflessly trying to save the knowledge. How do we feel about that?
I'll allow it.
Like it.
What if he, uses his magic to
No,
send
is
a
gone.
tower?
He doesn't. I guess
Oh, no,
magic
that's
is
right, yeah.
gone.
He doesn't
Dang.
have any magic.
So how's he?
All
Yeah,
he
so
has
how's
are
he
his
even do
wings.
that?
So he literally, like, he's in the library, like, grabbing books and scrolls and junk and chucking it out the
Okay.
window to other dragons who are keeping pace with it as it goes down. And he's just throwing as much
man.
out the window as he can while the island is going down.
Yeah, I like this.
That also is going to be, like, one heck of a minstrel song someday.
Yeah.
So
Everyone will know the tale of Garlo.
Rip Garlel. The,
And then
Dang.
Sela becomes a sunken city.
Yeah.
Sela.
Yep. Sela, the sunken city. Okay, so we're going to cut
You
this
know,
in
if-
half.
If it wasn't for the fact that they're bird people, this could easily be Atlantis.
That's
Yeah.
true. Yep. I'll
Like
take the
entire-
Band-Aid back off of the fallen floating structures, rip them again.
Because it could
Uh,
definitely be like, oh, yeah, there was an advanced civilization, but then
Yeah.
it fell into the void that once was a mountain.
Yeah, dude, like the Forerunners.
Luckily, the
Um,
people, have wings and can survive. Because otherwise, that now electricity would just be lost forever.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. The mines may have survived, but certainly all of the progress they made with like the actual
Oh, yeah.
structures and generators
Yeah.
and what, like that's all gone.
Although some of it has been taken to
There's a handful
stainless
of lightning cannons at
and
stainless.
stainless. Yep.
Okay, let's figure out the rest of the world. Any other huge ramifications?
There's
the-
flooding in the immediate area because a large piece of land displacing that much water, so the surrounding area will be flooded.
That's true.
Well,
It's
so
super deep.
Point of reference is that it's super deep. It's almost like an inverted
Yeah.
mountain range. Like it's
Okay.
way down there.
It's inverted mountain range is actually the wordage we used because he took the peak upwards and I said I
Oh, okay.
squished the mountains downwards.
I got it.
So,
Well, the Wheatlings have a magical barrier, right?
oh, bro.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, so now about that's a fantastic question. But that,
He's like,
that
wait,
magical
wait.
barrier. Well, it was to protect against the dust cloud, but that has since been moved away. So I don't really think the magical barrier is really doing anything anymore. It was just that they had kind of developed in that space while it was being useful against the dust.
I thought you were providing a magic field that was keeping, like, because the magic item Crescendo was lost, you had set aside a portion of ground for them that was as though Crescendo were still there.
That was my
No,
impression as well.
it was like a protective barrier to keep the dust out so that it wouldn't
see.
choke the plants, like so that stuff could actually still grow.
Got it.
Because everything else was like under a cloud of dust and like plants and stuff were just dying off.
That's fine with me. Let's see what else we
Alright.
got going on here magically.
I have to go to the bathroom
How-
real quick, but I'll be back, and it's not to throw up this time. It's because I actually have to go pee.
Nice.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
The wizards.
How magical are dragons in this world?
Dragons have wings and fly. I
No,
don't
but
know
I
that-
think for like lifeblood and such, right? Because in some lore, dragons like kind of live off of magic.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
I'd say
and
dragons can still
in
exist,
D&D,
though.
like they also magically affect the land around them. Like a red dragon will turn the land around it into crags and lava and stuff like that.
I feel like
So
dragons.
like it just depends.
I feel like the area of effect type things like that probably go away and come back again. Like the dragon as a flesh and blood beast, I don't think dies if it loses its magical powers.
What about their dragon breath, though?
That's an interesting
Like
question.
they're just reduced. They're reduced to large lizard folk for the time
yeah,
for 10 years. They're
yeah,
just stripped of their magic.
yeah,
Yeah.
It could be a dragon hunting era.
That's what I was just thinking because they're right
Oh,
next to the
no.
friggin' humans who are corrupt. And I
I
think
see
Dragons
that's,
this
are
as an
weak. Get them going to the
opportunity.
down.
let's see other
The
magic
acid
things.
rain, is that magical?
That's just acid, I think.
That's just climate.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, your wizard's on top of a 30-mile high, like way above this, like the mesosphere,
Oh,
where
yeah,
there's
dude.
probably lack of oxygen. I just feel really bad, because if they can't do magic, how are they going to survive that?
I'm
I mean,
googling it.
it would make a really cool, a really cool place to find an abandoned tower with an artifact that's like half complete.
I'm really pleased in this moment that I chose to make the horrible climate tower not a magical field. It's got an anti-gravity field and it's got a storm that's like constantly gathered around it, but those are both climate things, not magic. So that's good.
Magic universities have nothing to study.
Oh yeah, dude, rip Druidic U. Well, no, they could still like get in touch with nature and stuff. They just can't.
Oh, yeah. They
but
just
yeah,
can't learn and study
Why aren't
magic.
the trees talking back?
We need K to come back. We don't have the good stuff. I also think, where is it?
What
Naughty
happens to Kay's
Academy.
party barge?
Oh yeah.
What are you
Well,
looking
at
for,
least the
Josh?
LEDs are gonna stay on.
So
That's
I think
why he wanted. That's why he wanted electricity. He saw this coming, man.
Yeah.
He knew
the
this
light
before
will no
he
longer be colored because I wanted to color them with magic. So now they're just white light.
What?
I'm
Why the
pretty
light gotta
sure.
be white? You're
Okay.
racist.
I did not realize how high 30 miles up in the air actually is. Holy cow, Josh.
Yes,
What
yes.
the heck, man?
that's what I
That's
meant.
158,000 feet.
I wanted it to be nearly unattainable. Like these are epic level journeys to the top of these spires, and no one even knows which
There
one
is
is friendly and which one's
6.3% oxygen at 30,000 feet.
Oh yeah, you're practically in space.
Yeah, dude.
That's why I said you have a head start on the space elevator.
You want to talk
I
about a
didn't
place
know,
to
man.
get
I
in?
looked at the hex on there and I was like, that's 30 miles wide. Okay.
You want to talk about a place to get in touch with the gods, man?
So are we?
I
Are we
didn't
just saying
realize that
everyone
the sky
on
had
that?
no color up there.
I think probably without magic, everyone who's up here dies.
Yeah.
Oh, no, they did.
Yeah, they did. Rip.
Unless
There's
any
their
of them
tombstone.
are able to fly.
Chat's like, there's no buttons on these trees.
I don't think you can fly. I think your only hope is to hold your breath long enough to jump off the side. But if their tower is situated in the middle, good luck running how many miles to the edge?
He's on the landlocked
Yeah,
tower
no.
anyway. Like you couldn't even dive into the water for safety.
Well, he's saying if you could fly,
Okay.
and so you're not going to be able to fly at that altitude.
Here's
physically.
another implication we didn't think about. But in that instant that magic goes away, suddenly it's rock people versus skinny dark elf people down here in the 600-year war. The Hemeticians easily overpower and destroy the Drow. They probably don't eradicate the Drow, but that war is like hella
true,
over.
because the Drow just
Yeah.
rely a lot more on
So
magic.
at least
than
this area,
magicians.
this area that's like around where the Hemeticians sort of dug down is probably now like
Dang.
quite safe and
Hemetician
accessible to
occupied.
them.
Yeah.
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 Let's just mark off like a safe zone for them that they like, they've really cleared out some space and made use of that time. And the Drow
So
have probably retreated
almost
to
sounds like-
Ambercliff.
We're coming up with our own version of the spell plague.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, T.
And I think that would kind of be I think that would kind of be a cool spot to like wrap up. Like
Yeah.
if the campaign started at the end when magic starts to seep back into the world,
Dude,
I agree.
I agree
that
with
could be
you.
a really cool setting.
I
I
agree.
agree.
Kelnor just wants to do one thing before magic.
I
comes
also would like to do one thing.
Yeah, we got to
I
finish the
saved up
round
my-
anyway.
Okay.
We got
Yeah.
to finish the round.
So about the boats, like are they just lighter than air floaty wood? Like, or is that magic?
You said you were controlling them with magic.
I never knew when I got the airship how it works. So that's all on you. I have no idea how it works.
Right.
You said they were
I
floating on the
believe-
dust cloud.
For what it's worth, the particular like random GIF that I stole from flaticon.com has balloons holding it up. So
Oh.
they might stay
Well,
up with the
So
balloons.
the original ship design was that they had grown lighter than air trees, like that cultivated a wood that was lighter than air, and they would just kind of float around in them, almost like just aimless barges. And then the propulsion system was like originally powered off of the magic in the dust, like the mineral that was left over, and they kind of used that to propel. But when that dried up, it was more of just like a way of locking them to an altitude. But the wood itself was never really, not necessarily a magical thing. Like it could be like that. It's some magic that's causing these trees to have wood that's lighter than air, but doesn't necessarily have to be.
Gotcha.
Okay, so I'm basically, if I had any form of propulsion before, I'm definitely using sails now.
Everyone's
Yeah.
just holding their arms out, like swimming through the air, like flapping.
You're just coasting.
Everybody
For
with
10
wings.
years, he coasted around the planet.
Everybody with wings, jump off the back, start pushing.
with nothing but like magic druid herbs. Just like trapped up there.
How long? Have
Every
I been here,
3 years,
bro?
we watch the barge sail across the sky with its flashing, colorful lights. He can't turn.
It's like
He just-
people who look up at the stars and they see the Starlink constellation go by, like centaurs are out there trying to read the omens of the heavens for when magic will return, and instead they just occasionally see the blinking barge.
All right.
Is it
Okay,
Kotix's
so-
turn?
There goes. the
Yeah.
party
So just to sum up the big ramifications, the floating mountain peak descends and splits into two. All portals are dispelled. The Dragonborn lose their breath weapon and become giant lizards with wings. I guess they can still fly, right?
The dragons are
Yeah.
still dragons. We're just
Okay.
like they just don't have their magic right now.
Okay. The guild on the Shire gets completely wiped out. The Hematetians win their war against the Drow, and then the lights on the airship are white.
The guild on the what? On the Shire?
The
Spire.
Spire, sorry,
Spire.
Oh, okay, got it.
typo.
Also, and Winkle Digits has a delayed rollout.
Of course, sorry.
Yep.
Like,
Delay.
I may vouch, though, what if there is a vault in the Summit Bank that was lead-lined or something like that and has, like, a
Dormant
stock
winkle
of Wingle
digits.
digits
Yeah.
that are
that.
now resting
Only
at the
source of
bottom of the
magic.
ocean?
That's
The
an
magic will be restored
that-
when magic trickles back into the world.
That's an incredible plot hook.
Yeah.
When
There's
there's
It's a
when
heist.
there
treasure.
when the magic
lost
comes back,
cache
is it
of
just
Wingle
like the
digits.
switch and everything's back on, or is it like a slow burn of like it trickles in here and there and slowly
I'm
becomes
gonna claim that
I would
decision as
say-
the DM.
DM? Okay.
Yeah.
I just want
I would imagine that it's almost like things that weren't burnt out would fire back up, but there were a lot of things that burned out.
Right.
Alrighty.
So, question, one last thing. Whether or not it burns out or if it's something that would reactivate the world tether. What happens to it?
What's the world tether?
That's an interesting question because is that magical or is it just planar travel? There's a vortex here that is a tether to the multiverse, like to the astral sea, and you can sail into like you sail over the side, like straight up Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End. You sail over the side, and then you can travel down the vortex. And you come out in the astral sea. But I don't think the planes stop existing because magic goes away. Like I don't think that they are. Like I don't know that they're magical, and also magic hitting this, like getting taken away from this plane, doesn't
the
take it from
question-
the others.
Is the tether itself magical in nature?
Claim probably no, it's just multiversal. Like it's just like it's a part of nature.
Yeah,
so it's
I
just
think
a
of it.
place where the planes happen to collide.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay,
That's
I
like
can get behind that.
it's just in a giant storm, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's in a storm, the fog of lost souls, which ruins all of your navigational instruments, makes it feel like you're constantly facing north.
It just
et cetera, et
ruins
cetera,
your
et cetera.
day.
Yeah, it
Just
just makes it
ruins your
hard
day.
hard to navigate.
Okay, cool.
yeah.
So it is my
there
turn.
any other magic?
What's that?
I had magic to the world.
I'd like to create an event. I bring back magic.
I would let you do that if it were one of us, but I don't think we get to make a single event to undo something the chat
Oh, no,
does to
no.
us. I think
No,
that
and
that's
also
like-
this is a
that
really
was
fun
just a
storybook.
joke. Yeah,
Yeah.
I that was a joke. I didn't actually want to do it. I want to keep it.
cool.
But I do have 10 points.
I have 16 points. I don't know what I'm going to do with that next. Actually,
wait.
I do know what some of it.
You could
Invest in farming.
You could share some with me, and I could bring Garlel back to life. Poor dude.
I think Tragic Hero is a good
Yeah.
story hook once
So,
again.
so we were in the middle of establishing how Satonia was received by the Dragonborn in the middle of this crisis.
Oh,
The dragon.
The
Just
dragons,
dragons.
not the
Sorry,
dragon.
the dragon. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, that's my fault.
The Kavarites would be super receptive, and
Okay.
they would be willing to share some of their maps that, like, they've been mapping the world. So, you know, they could share some of their maps and culture and learn from each other. Yeah, they would be super receptive.
Okay, cool. So she'll like just flavor wise be like, ah, yes, and like be like offer to share some like nature magic, and then all of a sudden in the middle of that meeting, it just stops.
Oh,
She's just
rough.
so confused and like,
Dude, there's gonna
what's
be a
going
bunch of
on,
avatars who suddenly feel cut off from their gods.
right?
I swear this is just a one-time thing. All right.
No, but like probably in the middle of this meeting is also when they would all see the floating peak just completely descend. So she would
Yeah,
help
dude.
in the
Yeah, you
reparations.
hear
and
earthquake, and you're like, "What's that?"
Mm-hmm.
I'm just picturing Kelnor on this totally stuck like barge that he can no longer steer, having to have the conversation about ODing and building up tolerance with the rest of his guild. Like, look, man, sometimes you just got to take a couple days off because your tolerance is going to make it not good. But it's not the thing. It's just your body doesn't react the same way it's supposed to anymore. It's just like
Oh, yeah,
time to explain.
We're gonna have to ration the druid cool plants. Just saying.
Also, Ari, yes, Josh has listened to it, and he doesn't stop talking about it. So,
I think she's asking if I've heard the most recent one, which is I also have done. I got
Got
her
it.
hooked on that show, so she knows that I listened to it.
got it. I thought you just meant in general. I'd be like, how do you even know this man? How?
But yeah, I would probably have her just help out with reparations. So I'll have her command. She can command a city that isn't hers, right?
It costs more. No, it doesn't. It only costs more to command an order that's not yours. So yes, go ahead, do the thing.
So her being the I guess because there's no godly figure here or no other avatars here, right?
Yeah, Garlel just died. Rip
Yeah.
that
So
dude.
she's just gonna step in, like not overwrite the authority, but just like help out for people who are lost, confused, refugees seeking help, and
Cool.
just help with that sort of reparation.
So becoming a saint, essentially,
Yeah.
in history. Gotcha.
Yeah. So
Nice.
that is one of my 10 points. Um,
Going so fast earlier
Yeah.
in the night.
and then wiggle digits happen.
Then Winkle digits happen.
They destabilize the entire
Well, luckily
roll point.
TSAV gave us a game-ending crisis,
Yeah.
so we
Yeah.
don't have to go that many more rounds. We just need to play out this one.
So if we go over to the mountains, which I haven't named, with
The
my
Wing
other
Badger
avatar,
Mountains?
the Wing Badger Mountains, we'll just call them that.
Sure.
I'm gonna
As if
have
he doesn't go over to the Wing Badger Mountains.
I'm going to command. I haven't established a city, have I, on there?
Nope.
Okay, I'm gonna command the race for 3 points to create a city.
Okay.
It'll
Oh,
be
that's red.
Badgerville.
Just a question: is this gonna be like? Are we calling this the last turn then?
Yeah.
All right. Can I ask anybody who has a little bit of points? I require. I need.
Chances are you can get some from me. Chances are you
Okay.
can.
That's 4 points. And then I've used 4 out of 10, so I'm going to advance the civilization, and they're going to become expert miners.
Okay.
And then obviously the intent with their flying abilities, they will be able to mine and trade very well.
Oh, hang on. Everybody roll a d6. Benny Boy has redeemed more power. So for this final round, we've all got
Nice.
another d6 worth of points.
I've
I'll
got
let-
20 points total. Let's go.
I got 5 more points.
I rolled a 1, but I have an avatar to command, so I'm going to just spend it on him when we get to the end of the round. We'll
With
just go
that
back around for Wash and I. Thanks, Benny.
With those 5 points, I'm going to create an order for 4 points in Badgerville, and it'll be a miners guild.
Okay.
First miners guild, I guess. Even
What
though
are they going to
we've
be
all
called?
Miners.
Benny, if you look at the bottom left of your chat window, you'll see that you've got a certain amount of feather points, which the longer you watch, the more points you get. You can spend those points to interact with the stream, and we try and always pack that with rewards that will affect the game we're currently playing. So when we're playing shooters, you can make the game harder, make us drop our weapons, stuff like that. And when we're playing Dungeons and Dragons, you can do things like trigger random events, or in TSAV's case, make a huge crisis, or you can have us name artifacts after you, all sorts of stuff like that. Yeah, Gaming Fawn, I got bad news for you, buddy. I didn't put that sound alert widget in here.
How
No.
dare you?
I'll go put it in here.
Did you put any other ones in? You didn't
I'll-
put any of them in?
No, I'm saying the sound alert widget is not here.
Stop it. Don't say it ain't so.
Stop not having that, Josh. Okay, hang on. There. Now I'll play the sound so that Matt can feel good about himself.
Bravo 6,
There
go
it
in
is.
bonkers.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay, that was relevant. So anyway, Benny Boy, that's what those do, and you can use them for all sorts of
I'll
cool
come
stuff.
up with a name for later. I have 1 point left, and I will just donate it to Matt.
Okay.
Thank you for your sacrifice.
His vibe.
Sacrifice.
He
well
handed you
appreciated.
over his vibe.
Nice. Okay, is that my turn then?
Oara.
Okay. So, as some of you may have noticed, I'm not sure if you ever did, I kind of neglected the dirt at a certain
Did.
point.
You
Kind
fail
of
on
forgot
both.
what was happening, and over the course of this massive last round we've had, I came up with the idea of that due to my neglect of my avatar and of that civilization, my avatar there, of course I can't remember his name, which is so sad, started to grow sick and decay, and this caused kind of the suspension, because he was kind of like their Alexander the Great type leader. That caused them to kind of stop the construction of their tunnels at a certain point, which is marked on the map. And the final straw was him losing complete connection to me during the loss of magic, which caused him to die. And I'm going to spend 10 points on a catastrophe that makes it so that a lot of their tunnels, not all of them, but a lot of their tunnels crumble and
Oh no.
revert them back to a very isolated species that is pretty undiscovered compared to everyone else.
Also
Their tunnels-
leaving behind hundreds of convenient dungeons.
Leaving behind, however, they're not all completely collapsed. They can be uncovered and discovered, but they are not going to be like the dirt originally planned, where they were free and open transportation. They are now, maybe even one could say, more dungeon-y, because
imagine-
they are partially collapsed and hard to find.
Yeah.
I imagine the dragon loreborn are gonna want to do an archaeology dig once they figure that out.
Exactly. Once things are discovered, that could be interesting. So I had 20 points after that bonus points. So I spent half of my points on that catastrophe. The dirt are now...
another catastrophe.
No, I think I want to give some points to my good friend Kelnor. I just don't know how many yet.
Okay.
Any amount of sacrifice will be appreciated.
Otherwise, I have an interesting idea.
Shoot.
Ooh, I see Wash suddenly getting excited. I would like in the ashes of the collapse of the E2's city, I would like to have my avatar there create a new order. Laredith is going to create a new order whose goal is to use science and use technology to try to find a way to bring back magic. They're not exactly sure how, but they know that it's necessary for the flourishing of their world again and to rebuild Sila.
Kind of like the Enkindlers. They're trying
Not
to
sure what that
rekindle
means.
magic. They're trying to
Are the-
rekindle magic, you know?
Yeah.
Are the people from Sela like looking towards any particular direction? Like, are they just like rebuilding like basically where they've fallen? Or are they looking to other civilizations for help and refugee and all that?
I believe that they're rebuilding near like the outskirts of the impact, like the closest safe distance to the fallen mountain,
Okay.
because they still envision a future where they rebuild it.
Okay.
This order is the Reinkindlers. Is that a thing that you made up, or is that a thing from something else, Matt?
I made that up.
I like the idea of like they call themselves like the Kindling or something. Like I think that's a cool name for the order.
R&D.
Yeah, but their goal is to to try to reinstate magic into the world, but they're pursuing it through technology.
I like it.
And that is.
Did you
what?
decide to name them Kindling? What are we calling
Yeah,
them?
I like the Kindling is their guild name, their order name.
Yeah, because the Sheikah was taken.
Also,
yeah.
Sorry, just if anyone has an idea for a badger-themed name for a mining guild, please let me know. We are
And so
accepting name suggestions.
that leaves me with 9 leftover points. And also my avatar will like now like as part of her creating that guild, she is like that's her main purpose right now.
True.
Is like trying to do that. Winged badger mining. WBM. I'm gonna be very, very generous in my points because I can't really think of much else to do. And give 9 points to my friend Kelnor.
Your sacrifice
Eleanor's
is
just
greatly
rolling in points this
appreciated.
round.
Your sacrifice is greatly appreciated.
So that's my turn.
Cool.
Alrighty, we go to you, Kelnor.
All right. So after all of my donations, I have 21 points. Um,
If you're having point problems, I feel bad for you, son.
All right. So, you know what, bros?
What, bro?
I'm
What,
feeling
bro?
pretty bad for like everybody just had their vibes removed. My avatar is left adrift in the great sea that is the sky. And you know, I think I can solve 2 birds with
The way
one
that you did
stone.
that, sorry, the way that you did that with your hands, with your baggy sweatshirt that you're wearing, was like the great sea that is the sky. It was just so perfect. Anyway,
So, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm willing to spend 10 points on it, but it would be an event. I'm willing to spend more points on it, depending on how much you think I'm overkilling here.
Events are
just
9 points.
Yeah, it might
I
just be
know.
2 events.
Oh, okay.
So, all right, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna like teleport K and his troop, right? And we're gonna anchor him at the port you promised. Okay. And we're gonna have the first festival.
Wait, which port?
in stainless.
in stainless.
Oh, stainless. Okay.
But this is an important festival. This isn't just for the city. This is for everyone who just lost like all of their vibes. So I'm gonna imbue all of my magical power to make sure everyone enjoys this festival. And I will create temporary portals to all of the lands just for them to be able to come here. If they don't leave in time, that's their problem, man. You know. But the mellow month will happen, and they will have a good time. But
know what?
after that, I had to pour all of my magic into that. So obviously, magic cannot exist without my direct intervention. And so thus it all dissipates.
I'll join you.
If
I'll
I
chip in
may.
my magic for this event.
What do you say, Wash?
let me just throw out an alternative there. I love this idea. I love like the culmination, and like the month of Mellow coming to fruition through divine intervention. But with magic being gone, what would you think about if you used the divine intervention to plant seeds, to these seeds of the portals, and this planting for the prophesied day that one day when magic returns, the month of Mellow will happen.
Dude, all right, you know what?
Bruh.
That's a really awesome idea there, Xanar. I'm gonna have to go and reevaluate my position.
He was so excited about it that he forgot your name.
So, tell me if I'm getting this right from a functional perspective. You're trying to basically put like a portal that's accessible from every region to this event, but right now they're not active. They're like the seeds of portals, and they will activate when magic comes back.
Oh,
Is that
Portals of the
correct?
people.
It would be like they'd be like in cities, right? And they'd be in doorways.
In every
Central
single
hubs.
city?
In every major city. Every major, like civilization, right? Every civilization will have a chance.
Okay, then I'm not going to put them on the map if they're just in each civilization city.
And that way they'll be in like, old forgotten stone archways. And I'll imbue it with the idea that, somebody's going to be like, man, I should really redevelop this area, and remove that stone archway. But they look at it and they're like, nah, that would harsh some vibes. I can't do that.
Maybe each archway has the prophecy on it. We can figure out exactly what the prophecy is later, but like, prophesying about the month of Mellow and how magic will return.
Oh, yeah. But
yeah.
oh, yeah. I do want to say, all right, then that's what I'll do with my 9 points, is plant the seeds. And then for another 9 points, I would like to make sure that everyone aboard the airship, because teleporting might be a little too much, but I'll make sure everybody aboard the airship cannot starve to death. They need no longer any. We're not going to talk about what I said.
Can we just name it Airshorp now?
Airship.
Yes, that's got to be the name.
It's the airship, man.
I'd let you teleport them if you want.
No, I like this better.
I like the idea that they don't need to eat no more. And they can just mellow out in the sky. And when the prophecy happens, they'll be able to come back and herald the beginning of Mellow Month.
Is this just the beginning of passengers? Is
They're
this just
short
passengers?
shifters like you, right?
Yeah, what? Sorry, I didn't actually hear you because I'm deaf.
I didn't hear him either.
I think we talked over each other.
I'm sorry.
I made a joke. I asked if they were short shifters like you. Or like Kevin.
Oh, short shifters. Okay. Yeah, by the way, whatever changelings, I guess, never got off the ship before that time, they don't get off the ship. But I guess there are a few changelings out in the world. Spreading the good nature of good vibes.
Nice.
Yeah, man.
I'm spending my one remaining point that I got from Benny Boy's More Power gift to command my avatar. My avatar, Navrak. He is, just as a reminder, the gentleman thief who is the leader of Recovery Inc. I'm going to give him the divine command to excavate and recover as much knowledge from the fallen library, the newly reconstructed library, as possible. So to connect his guild with the Eos Lore Foundation, and then to assist them in recovering all of the knowledge. and he obviously won't get it done this year or whatever, but that's going to be ongoing as we pick up into the campaign as well. So that's my final command. Basically, it's like I've done my best, but things keep happening. I'm now leaving this world to you, and I want you to recover the lore of the past ages if you can.
Nice.
And with that, wait,
No,
Wash, are
didn't
you
Wash-
doing anything?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yes, I have two things.
Okay.
If we go over to the holy city of Oat, city of whole oats,
In a
I'm
crisis
going
like this, the
to-
druids would have reached out to Oates and just been like, "You guys feel this too?"
Oh, absolutely,
As like a
absolutely.
diplomatic,
and
you
do
know.
Bumblefoot. She's very much being a mother to her people and trying to to make sure that everybody is taken care of and whatnot. But we've got a big city. We've got like a big
Yeah.
walled in sect of land, and I believe I raised an army on there as well. Or did. I'm going to use 5 points to advance the city. And I am going to have them develop boulette husbandry.
What happened?
And if you're not familiar with boulettes, I actually have one. They look like that.
Hang on, we're gonna make Wash's camera ungodly big for the stream here. Just a second.
Dude,
Just a
domestication.
Oh.
Wait. Okay, hold that up again.
Yeah.
That's what they look like.
Oh,
Bullets.
okay. I know what these are.
Yep. They're essentially land sharks,
Yeah.
which I think is appropriate for the wheatlings as well as the rootlings. I think that they kind of fit in both above and underground instances. But yeah, so they have them domesticated now that they can't really rely on magic for processing goods and whatnot. They're implementing beasts of burden, and boulettes are one of the things that they develop.
By
If
the
your
way-
people would be
Also-
willing.
I'm just gonna give my last remaining 3 points to you, by the way. So use
I
them as
have.
you
Oh,
please.
okay. I was going to use 1 point to command Avatar to create an order. Bumblefoot is going to form the Church of Stars.
Okay.
We haven't had like a religious. Well, I mean, when you create.
When you create a race, there's always an
Don't
order
you-
that
don't
worships
you-
you.
Yeah. Okay. So that would be the Church of Stars then, I guess. Unless you want me to burn a point and do it.
Nah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. So that leaves me with 4 points.
So you're still
I
creating
think
that or
I'm
not
going
creating
to.
that?
It's already been created.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah, it's already been created. I don't think it ever was named though. So if you want to like put down, Church of Stars, that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay. I put it in the
Um,
most recent one because it's named, but I
That's
should
fine.
probably move. Okay.
And I think I'm going to use the last 4 points to purify the orcs 1 more level.
Make them extra nice.
Let's
So they are going to be +2.
The +2 stoner militia.
Yep.
That almost sounds like a band. Yeah, did you go to see the +2 stoner militia?
+2 stoner militia.
go.
Nice.
They're opening up for Air Shorp.
Nice.
Nice.
Love it.
Oh.
Man, Sir T-Sab really threw a wrench in this
Oh,
world.
yeah.
It's not a wrench. He just threw some plot at it. I love
Oh, yeah.
this.
I love it too.
It was a good idea.
We needed
Um,
it.
It's nice when
Also-
chat does, because then we don't get mad at each other.
Oh yeah.
So, are we all at the point now where we're done?
Yes.
Okay,
am
I
at-
would love to
One more
give
thing.
chat a tour of the map. Go ahead.
Before we do, sticking with the age thing, do we want to change the name of the world again?
Mm.
Yes.
So the name of the world was Urugda. How does that name evolve over time? remembering that it's been the length of the second age plus the third age, basically. Because Urugda would have evolved as we transitioned from the first age to the second. So this is sort of that, over the course of... It's a longer time, is all I'm saying.
Maybe soften it. So
Like Regda?
Like Relia? Like, and the da becomes a la kind of thing? And you
Urilla?
drop the guh. So like Relia?
Are you
Rilla?
trying to make it say regular?
Relia?
It's just regular. It's just a regular world, man.
Regda?
I mean, that sounds like what Kay would call it. He'd be like, man, just living in a regular world. And I'm a regular dude.
It changes to society, so we can say everyone lives in a society.
Nice. Bottom text.
I still
We
like
all
the
regular
U
people.
though. I like the U.
I think the U sounds fancy and fantasy-ish, but I do think it's the first thing to go as language evolves.
Yeah.
Like, people are going to be shortening the word and slurring it, and I think the U is probably the first thing
Maybe
we
it-
drop.
What if it's Relia with a W at the beginning?
What about Urig?
No,
I kind of
you're
like the
rich.
softening.
I like there's this no. It's heard somewhere in there.
Jake said no Urig, like
a
Urig,
no
no
you.
Urig.
Yeah.
Oh.
But I
okay.
also like the idea that I just said no.
That's just on brand for Jake whenever I have an idea.
Urilla?
Hi, I'm Jake, and I like Mountain Dew. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Reg.
Just Reg. Da.
I
Just da.
really like the idea
Nah.
of like Relia, but like the U becomes a W, like Matt was saying. Like
Oh, that's interesting.
Relia?
What about Rada?
What do you mean
Radar,
by W?
dude.
Like,
WRELYA or Relia, like something like that.
oh, like it just becomes silent? Like it's...
yeah,
yeah, I gotcha.
but it's still like is in the written in a way. You know what I mean?
I'm fine with that.
So
honestly. I like
a
really.
softened G would almost be like a J instead of a G.
Relja.
Regia?
Regla?
Regla?
Regia?
Reggie Ice. Wow.
I don't know how we get to Ia from Da. Like that seems like it's too
I like
far. of a-
Regia, like Regia. Regia.
I was thinking la. Sorry.
Rizla?
Instead of da, I was thinking la.
Regla.
Rela.
I can
Rela.
see that. Like if people roll the D.
Yeah.
Regla.
Regla.
Regia?
Regla.
Regla. I like
Regla.
Regla.
Ruffles have ridges.
Z is just spicy S. says chat.
So like
Regla.
Rejla. Regla?
Or like I like the W at the beginning too.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
The
Little
U
W.
actually kind of looks like a W if you turn your head to this side.
That's true. Chat, do you have any opinions on this? Ways the name should evolve?
Or the J can still be a G, but it's just pronounced Regla still. You know what I mean?
Mm.
I don't
What
know.
about
That
Rigella? If we change the emphasis.
I feel like that might be veering too much from Urigda, but I don't know.
Uragda, Rajela. Uragda, Rajela. I could see that sort of happening. Rajela.
can you pan over?
Everyone has an accent. Rajela.
That's a spicy
Uragda.
meatball.
The
Can you
spicy
pan
yes.
over?
The Z
A
is
Z
the
is
spicy
just
yes.
a space. Yes, yes.
Nice.
I want to see the word you wrote.
It's
Yeah,
on the screen.
Wash is covering it,
You're
you
right. You're
dingus.
right. You're right.
Wash, how
Wash.
could you?
Type bang
No,
jump.
Josh is the dingus, not Wash.
Yeah. Regula? Right. Regular. It's a regular
You went
world.
Australian there. Right,
Regular.
Liza Babe.
Oh no. Now that's a knife.
Hey, what's wrong with you? I like Rejla. That's me personally, but
I don't like
I'm
how
not
it
a fan
sounds.
either.
well, I
It
don't
doesn't
like
feel
you.
good to say. Like I want it to feel good to say.
Do you like Regula?
Wash, can you pronounce how you said that last one again? You said like
Oh, man, I don't.
re-emphasizing.
see.
Re-emphasizing the G.
Regella?
It was.
Regula?
My brain just like fell out my
I
ears.
think you said Regella.
Regella?
Yeah. Because it was regula, so it'd be regula or regula would be changing the emphasis.
Hmm.
How about
Regula. From uregda to rugella.
Yeah, I actually like that. Regella.
Or rugella. Rugella.
Regella.
Rugella. The world of in the world of rugella.
In a
Where
world.
we eat our rugello with rutella.
what about Urda?
What about what?
Urda.
Isn't that what we already have? Urda.
Urada.
Kind of drop the G.
It feels like a natural shortening of the word.
Yeah,
Urada.
Urda.
I could see that. Urada.
Urela?
You guys like that?
Urela?
Urada is
mean-
kind of growing on
What
me.
about
Now that I've heard him say it.
what
Go
about
ahead.
urada?
Ureda? Is that what you said?
Urada. Like instead of urada, it's the syllables in the middle. Second syllable. Urada.
Urda.
Ureta.
Urada. With a New Hampshire accent.
Ureda her rights.
Ureta, be ready. I'll be coming to your house.
I like Ureda. I could get behind that. I like Ureda or Ureda. I like both of those. They feel good to say.
I like Ureda. 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 Oh gosh, I don't know.
I think this is fun to say,
Ureda.
in my opinion.
Ureda.
Ureda feels like it like even if you're slurring it or pronouncing it differently in different accents, it feels like a shortening of Uregda, which I like.
I think we
Yeah, I
take
like
out
that.
the little accent between the U and the R.
Yeah, people would think that's pretentious in a world with no
Yeah.
magic. Only magic
Yeah.
people would do that. What if that becomes like a thing? There becomes like a stigma about magic users because they're all whining about not having magic anymore.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's
Yeah.
definitely a plot point. You know,
Bro.
that's how you. No, that's the magic user test in a world of non-magic. You just ask them to spell the name of the world.
Ureda.
What are we
Ureda
going
it
with?
is.
Yeah.
Ureda.
There you go.
Udeta.
Nice.
Ureda.
Nice.
You
did
detta.
All right, chat, just for you, here is a brief tour of the map. I'm going to not go into too much detail because we've now got a pretty dense map here. This is the world of Ureda. Starting on the western edge of the world of Ureda, we've got a tiefling civilization up here, which is actually divided into sort of pure and corrupt tieflings, and they often skirmish over this river in between them. There's also a race of giant seafaring spiders causing conflict up there. As we move south, we end up in the still unchallenged domain of Thraxenhau, an ancient white dragon who has been there since basically the beginning of time. Then
You're
further
just
south,
killing, man.
the Glacier of Namedis with its generic fountain Namet.
And a relic of a once
Yes,
unused portal.
a relic of a portal. Stonefield, a random field of stones, literally. There's a merfolk civilization down here, including their city Nautiri. North of the merfolk are the stoner militia orcish clans. The beaver folk are sort of along these rivers, and the dirt are spread out all around the world now, but they're not particularly common or well discovered, so they don't really have like a government system or any cities or anything like that anymore. Then there's the Acid Corridor, North of the Acid Corridor, we have the Udril, the Hill Dwarves, and the first recorded kingdom organization of a nation, which includes Navrak, the avatar of Gomteos, god of chaos, who has founded a gentleman thieves guild called Recovery Inc. Moving further, we have the corrupt human civilization of Apesh, with its cities of Anisal and Athamont. And then moving...
Return to Monkey.
Yes.
Sorry, you said Apesh and it's Apish and
What's the dotted
okay.
line again?
The dotted line is
Mine
how
went there
far the
too.
dirt made it before they
Oh, okay.
literally collapsed. The Kavoridae are the Dragonborn, the Kavarites are the dragons, and Kavor, leader of the dragons, is an ancient gold dragon who has also been around nearly as long as time. Just south of Kavor is the city of Stainless, which was established in a partnership between the Kavarites and the A2. Then over here we have the fallen floating peak of Zanir, which has split down the center, and some of it has fallen into the Umbral Sea of Gomteus. We have the wreckage of several markets and libraries, 2 of each actually. There's also Seswana, a sacred Aasimar city. Up here in the north, we have the sort of land of the nomadic goat folk. They're centaurs who are part goat instead of part horse. The Wheatlings and Rootlings have taken up establishment in this area. They're like a small fairy creature, although the holy city of Oat would be sort of their haven, like where you can really get a taste of their culture and their civilization. Near them are the Halfling Druids of Chorus, who are in the Jungle of Songs, and the Halfling Druids of Verse, who are in the Jungle of Songs next to the Silent Harbor. Beneath those is Badgerville and the Wing Badger civilization. They have some good mining guilds and mining skills there, including Wing Badger Mining, the temporary name of the mining guild, which Trevor can change if he decides to.
I think I'll just keep Wing Badger mining.
Okay. In the center of the map, we have Acria, which is a mountain dwarf civilization, and just beneath that, the leftover, the abandoned ruins of a Eastern Hemetetian civilization. They, of course, have dug deep into the Underdark, so they're down here now. The Darude have sort of just been chilling on the side of this mountain for all of time. Just sort of there. They're a tree folk. Here we have Lodin's Crater, a remnant of a previous chat crisis where someone dropped a meteor on the world and plunged it into 300 years of darkness as ash and dust spread across the world, as well as introducing Lodin's Stones, which is to say lodestones, into the world, which can now be mined from this crater. Down here is the continent of Ko, because Kotix, god of nature, got bored with the land being all connected and decided he was going to break it apart over the span of a couple hundred years. So he did that and sent it a little bit to the south here. It's also the birthplace of the gnomes and home to several sentient Arctic creatures, and Druidic U, the university for druids. Over here, we have Ishane, the elven civilization, with their city of Ambercliff and Ironguard, and it is a partnership between the elves and the drow, or the dark elves. And Ambercliff represents another joining between the Underdark and the surface world. So that's another access down there and up from there. And that is a brief tour of Ureda. Now, if you're interested in learning more about Ureda, or Ureda, in learning more about Ureda, you're going to have to check out the campaign, which is going to be launching soon. But the next step is to make some characters, and that will be happening on stream, ideally next Wednesday. We're going to make sure everyone's life aligns for that, because everyone's had we've had crises in game, and we've had some crises out of game. So it's been a bit of a month for everybody. But hopefully, in a perfect world, that's what we would do next Wednesday. This coming Sunday, you can catch us playing some shooters and just having some chill fun times. And don't forget that the Sunday after that is my birthday. We're going to play Jackbox. We're going to get lit. But before we sign off for the night, I also want to make sure that we shout out Wash Brunello, amazingly talented DM, mini painter. He has his own channel at Wash Brunello. I'll shout them out in chat. While I do that, Wash, what are you up to, and when can people see you live next?
Gonna be live next week. I stream on Tuesdays and Saturdays. This week has been a craziness. So we're on like a temporary hiatus. But projects that are in the works, I'm working on a new announcement. Hasn't been announced anywhere yet. I'm working on putting together an ancient black dragon. I also have Yeah, I also have on the docket to make a hot air balloon because my party in my home game has decided that they are going to construct a hot air balloon. And so I want to have one ready for them and probably going to be crafting that, not 3D printing it. So we'll be just like doing some paper mache and some rigging and some
Nice.
fun stuff. So that's going to be on the docket as well. So yeah, Saturdays and Tuesdays from 9 to 11 is when I stream Eastern.
That's
Sweet.
awesome. So
Love it.
cool. That's pretty much all there is to say from us. Thank you guys all for being here. I've had a great time. Chat, thank you for hanging out with us. And from all of us here at Wing Badger Gaming, Trevor, you want to say it?
Be
No?
sure to like and subscribe.
No, it's
Lone Mod doesn't even know.
Jake.
If you know, you know, and he doesn't know.
That's right.
Clearly.
What do
Did
we
you
say,
say
Jake?
me do it?
Yeah.
Oh, GG and GN.
See you, friends.
He said the thing.